Y'all know what it is. It's the Find the Boxer game. Purchase a box for a chance at winning $500. One of 54 boxes has a missing boxer inside. Purchase your box or boxes by Cash Apping $ usual 50/50. Include your box number, name, and email address. Your box number will be confirmed and sent directly to your email. Each box is $20 with a 1 in 54 chance of winning. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Y'all know what it is. It's the usual suspect 650-50 draw. Buy your tickets now for your chance at winning half the pot. Cash App, $ usual 50/50. Tickets are on sale for $10 for one, $20 for 3 tickets, and $50 for 10 tickets. Put your desired amount, name or alias, as well as your email address, and your tickets will be set. We announce the winning ticket numbers every other Friday on Supreme Beats Boxing Talk Bullshitting on the Beltway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Push the weight and flex. Flex alive is more than the 6. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Buddy. Lightweight, baby. Let's bleed this beautiful Saturday morning. It's raining out here in New York. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. If it don't apply, let it fly. But to you ends, I'm talking to you. What we're dealing with here is a group of it gets deeper than boxing. This morning, what I'll be talking about, the things going on in boxing, is a direct reflection of the mental conditioning of these N-words running around that have been well trained. The OG Mr. Mont said, the problem we have is that these kids, they have no connection to their ancestors. None, zero. And although with all the information that we have accessible to us at the touch of our fingertips with these computers in our hands that we call cell phones and laptops and tablets and desktops, there's still a lack of education. We have all the information available, we have people, and I'm talking about Black people in particular, who like to read the cover of a book or the footnotes on the inside, or skip right to the end of the story, and then they swear that they know what's going on. So the discrepancies in boxing is a direct reflection of what's going on in life. And I'm talking about the Black community in particular. We are unorganized. Many of us are lost. And it is frustrating. I turn around and I'm one of the OGs, and when you try to explain things to the young generation, they swear they know everything, which makes it impossible to educate, because these, as they call themselves, these YNs, or grown adolescents with a YN mentality, which makes you an adolescent. You feel that you are above being educated, and what's dangerous is when you get in a position of quote unquote power. You know, one of my favorite lines in Spider-Man is, with great power comes great responsibility. So when you have a bigger channel, you take that responsibility and you bend it and twist it to suit your narrative, as long as that narrative is lining your pockets. That's irresponsible. That's selfish. And you are not my brother or sister or whoever you are. Because where it's a game to you, it's not to other people. When you're a leader, you have a responsibility. And when these content creators and these writers, I'm talking to the Black people now. When you're a journalist, when you are a content creator with hundreds of thousands of followers, you have a responsibility to speak the truth, whether you like it or not. When there's something that doesn't make sense, you have a responsibility to tell the truth. As a journalist, that's what you're supposed to do. But what we have now is false journalism. You have a bunch of fanatics that were blessed to be in a position where they can rub elbows with the fighters that they talk to, that they are fans of, even the fighters that they don't like. But the problem is when they personally don't, when it's popular, when it's financially lucrative for them to talk bad about someone or anyone, that's the route that they go. And that's the lack of integrity that I'm talking about. And when they fuel the agitators, and here's the responsibility part, when they fuel the agitators, it gets dangerous out here. Because when you have grown-ass men, for example, like that clown in Chicago that wants to fight everybody, and you know, all of this like ridiculous rhetoric. Simple truth will shut him down. Simple truth will shut him down. Simple truth and simple logic. All you gotta do is say, no, it's not that, it's this, and point at him and laugh and say, you see, this man's crazy. This is why we don't talk to him. And anybody over there for that rhetoric are of like mind. And we don't deal with that in the Strong House. We don't deal with that. And I see y'all in the chat. I'm just gonna skip the roll call this morning. I just need to get to this. Salute to everybody. Oh, ATL, man, happy born day, brother. Another trip around the universe, man. Salute to you, good brother. Much love and appreciation. Thank you so much for being an honest man. It's about boxing with you. It was cool kicking it with you last August, man. Salute to you, man. Much love and appreciation, man. See that brother right? See this brother right here? It's about the sport. It's about the sport. This brother just popped up in my chat one day when we was just talking boxing. He started a channel. I'm no expert, but I helped him and I supported him the best way that I know how. And now he's doing phenomenal, man. Salute to you, brother, man. Salute to you. In the right, and he's a perfect example. With the right association. With the right association. And I tell people all the time, you don't have to be LDBC to kick it. You don't. This brother's about the sport. He's a solid brother. And Didn't know him from a can of paint. But you know, I want my brother's success. I want my sister's success. He grew his channel. We was in ATL last year. He came through, was hanging out, and right before he said, "Yo, Drew, I'm about to leave." I said, "Hang out, man. Champ is coming." He didn't even know, and Deontay pulled up, and that's how he got the picture right there. This is what we do. It's about a village. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to be on here fighting with anybody. It's fruitless. We don't have to agree about boxing. How do we go from not agreeing about boxing to pull up and I'm gonna do this? And come on, man. I don't subscribe to that. It's ridiculous. I'm really a peaceful person. But 100% of the issues on here that people have is with me. And it's like, you know, it goes from, you know, oh, I don't agree with your boxing opinion to, oh, well, he thinks he's big and I'll do this. And what? How do we get there? What in the name of midget mentality are you talking? What in the name of insecure are you dealing with, dude? It's not my fault that you're short or fat or ugly. None of this is my fault. Grow your beard out, move to the mountains, and quit bothering people. You know what I'm saying? So salute to ATL, man. Happy born day to you, brother. Much love, man. And thank you for being real, brother. Whenever there was something he was confused about, he called me. There was one situation he was confused about, and we had a conversation. And that's it. And we handled it behind it. It was not even a real situation. He probably don't even remember what I'm talking about, but there was something he learned about later. And he said, yo, I just want to know what was up with that. And I explained. I was like, yeah, you know, something happened, da-da-da-da-da. And it was explained, and it was the end of it. He didn't run and start making videos and, yo, I got questions. And no, he didn't do that. This is how Black people are supposed to interact with one another, because I don't see Latinos doing this. And I'm not around their channels a lot, but I haven't heard of this. You don't see those 24 karat people doing this. It's dangerous out here, and people are crazy. Do y'all know about the murder that happened last week or a few days ago? Do y'all know about that between these two YouTubers? Did you see that in Vegas? Did you see that? Did you see that? I'm looking at this like, wait a minute. This dude, Derek, what up? This dude was riding around Vegas because he had a beef with some other YouTuber. I never heard of these two guys. I don't even know what they do. He pulls up on him in Vegas, and dude is with his wife. His wife. He didn't throw hands. He didn't go live and start cursing them out. He pulls out the hammer and dumps on. He murdered dude and his wife. What is this? And I appreciate that, EJ. That's all I try to do is talk boxing. But if you put Drew Titan in the search engine on YouTube, I was amazed at the things that I saw. I said, I didn't know that I pissed this many people off. I didn't know that my opinion grinded their gears so much that people go on entire tirades about me. What is my crime? I'm close to Deontay Wilder and his team. That's my crime. What is my crime? I call out cheating in the sport. Everybody. I don't limit it to one or two fighters. I call out everybody. What is my crime? On the Painful Excellence podcast, I call out the discrepancies on everything, everybody, politically, men, women, and my personal favorite, Black people. I stay holding my community accountable. I can't tell you what's going on in the Latin community. I'm not over there. I can't tell you what's going on in the 24 karat community. I'm not over there. I'm not concerned. I'm concerned about my people. What do we need to do to make ourselves better? And I'm not saying kill Whitey or the hell with the Latinos. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we need to, I talked about this the other day. We need to mind our business and get better. Because we're going backwards. We are out of touch. I could bring up a young kid, right? Matter of fact, that kid that I brought up here, so y'all could, when I invite a stalker on a panel, I do that every now and again so y'all could see what I'm talking about. And the kid came up here, he tried to defend Tank Davis. Then when I closed all those doors on him and I started asking him about boxing, what did he do? He started insulting me personally. This young man, there's nothing you can say to insult me, bro. My life is great. My life is great. You can't insult me physically. I'm an alpha male, 6'2", 220. I got a six-pack and my dick is way above 6 inches. So I've won in the genetic department. So try again. Oh, so you can't talk Tank Davis because you're not a Tank fan like that and you don't watch boxing like that. So what is your problem? Then he starts going to, oh, well, you making money off attacking your people. Okay, well, what did I say? Let's talk about it. And as usual, he couldn't talk. I said, well, where did you find my channel? And which one? Because I have 3 channels. Where did you find my channel? Oh, I found your channel 2 years ago. Okay, so what about my content bothers you? Let's talk about it. And what did he do? What did the Godfather always say? Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Sign language. The thing is, when he says that, he's talking about modern women. But when you see a grown man doing that, who was scared to show his face, that speaks volumes. And that was a young black man. See what I mean? So what really grinded his gears about me? He never explained it, but he was on here trying to insult people. So when all of that failed, what was he left with? Nothing. You were doing the devil's work. Young man, until this day, I don't know. I went back and watched the show. I said, I played it for my boy. I said, do you know what his problem is with me? He says, no. You know what it is? He was a fan. And he had a preconceived notion of what I do here. You're defending Tank, but you don't know about Tank. And it's the same thing with Devin Haney. You tear down Devin Haney, and all you know is what these writers say in the majority in the media. But when I say, wait, hold on. The first thing you said was, when I say, well, what's your problem with Devin Haney? What do you think they bring up? In 2 seconds, they bring up Bill. I'm like, okay, well, what did Bill do? And they can't explain it. They start talking this mumbo jumbo. Oh, Bill, he's always talk. Oh, that's what promoters do. They talk. Do you say the same thing about Eddie Hearn? No. Lou DiBella? No. What? So when I say the public is well trained and black people, we need to be smarter than this. If you hear something, so you just can't tell me any old thing. You can say something to me and I say, oh, okay, I'll check it out. And I'll do my own research and I'll come back to you and say, hey, listen, man, you told me this, and that. Well, I did my own research and I have questions. Many times when I do that to people, they get mad because they know that I can't conform to what they say. I'm not taking your word as your bond. I research things. That's what you're supposed to do. And I say, hey, man, you told me this and that. Well, I did some research and it said this and that. Can you explain this? And I'll give you an opportunity. You know what happens when I do that a lot of times? Oh, my God, you want to listen to this and you want to listen. No. You told me this. I researched several sources and it said this. Can you please prove your case? Now, I don't know, I'm confused. Let's compare notes, time, dates, incidences. I can tell you off the bat why I don't like Tyson Fury, where I used to be a supporter of his. And I can tell you, hell, man, I don't mess with him no more. Oh, why? Because he beat up Deontay? No, it's the conditions, because it's boxing. I don't like, I don't have a problem with Zhilei Zhang. I don't have a problem with Joseph Parker. So what are we talking about? Why is it that I don't have a problem with Zhilei Zhang? I don't have a problem with Joseph Parker, and I got this big problem with Tyson Fury? I can explain it in detail. Now, if you have ADD, magically you don't have time to sit there and listen to me, because it's going to take me about an hour. And let me let y'all know something. If someone can explain their position in under a minute, usually it's bullshit. I can't explain to you exactly why I don't like Tyson Fury in under a minute. It's going to take me about an hour. Because as I'm talking to you, we're in the age of technology, and the brilliant thing is I can give you times, dates, articles for you to go research yourself, people that are affiliated with him. I can go on. And in fact, you might have to tell me to shut the F up. You might have to tell me, all right already, because things that I have to say about that man, the Fury fan cannot defend it. They cannot. And at the end of it, I'll say, and you know what? Through all of that, somehow people still love this guy because he did one thing: cheat the black heavyweight champion, and the world dumped on him. The only fighter to win a medal the year he fought, bronze. The only boxer who has the real Cinderella story, only started fighting because his daughter was sick. Underweight in all of his fights, but has the strength of a god. And instead of celebrating that story, instead of celebrating anything that he's done, they tear him down. And many black Americans on our soil would rather support anything instead of in support of him. And what frustrated me to no end, when I saw a bunch of you knuckle draggers, you tree sloths, you monkeys, talk about anything but what he was actually accomplishing and not supporting him in his journey. So much to the point where we could have had an undisputed black heavyweight champion in the 4-belt era. Now, Drew, you're talking about race, it don't matter. Yes, it does matter. Because we still didn't get Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. 2016, 2017. We're now in 2025, 6 months in. I remember the video, which is not on the internet anymore. This is AJ talking. I'll take the fight. I don't care if it's 2017, 2018, 2019, 2022. Now, back then, he did the interview. It was like 2016. We was like, whoa. That's like 3 or 4 years. What are you doing, man? We are legit at 2025. They haven't fought. And that's on him because he's the A side. And the fanatics let him get away with that. They let Eddie Hearn dictate that whole situation. AJ let Eddie Hearn dictate that whole situation, and we never got that fight. And life happens. They screwed Deontay Wilder out of his WBC belt. Nobody supported him. They eventually got at AJ when he came to New York. They poisoned his water. Yeah, I said it. I told y'all that story. I told y'all what happened. My boy who died during the pandemic worked at MSG and called me on the phone, but I couldn't answer the phone at work. I work for transit. I can't talk on the phone. Thomas calls me. He says, yo, you heard what happened? I said, no. He said, AJ lost. I said, man, stop trolling. He said, I swear to God, he got dropped like 5 times. I said, stop trolling, man. Then my boy called me. He says, yo, man, what's up with your boy? I said, who's my boy? He said, the big British kid. I don't know. What are you talking about? He said, yo, he got mollywopped. I said, what? He said, man, that fat Mexican dude beat his ass. But he said, yo, that's not why I'm calling you. He said, I was calling you hours prior because your man was down by the locker room with no shoes on, sweating, looking like he had to take a shit. He said the tall British dude was walking around on the phone like talking about, I don't know. I was like, what? I said, that sound like Eddie Hearn. And I say, whoa. And then when I went home and rewatched the fight, in between the rounds, he's like, why do I feel this way? Dummy, you got poison, stupid. Why do I feel this way? They poisoned you. You know why, nigga? You can't go undefeated, Anthony Joshua. They needed to tune you up to make sure you have to have at least one blemish on your fucking record. Now, I laughed when he lost. I did. I was still on Facebook, and I was, going back and forth with a lot of Brits. But when I recognized what happened, all I was saying was, you see, because there was a lot of black British people over there, and I told them, your boxing's dirty. What happened to Deontay can definitely happen to you. You thought because you're from across the pond and you're rocking with Eddie that you was untouchable? No, 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 no. AJ's dad jumped in the ring and was barking on Eddie Hearn. I told you we should have postponed the fight. He wasn't well. Hey, dad, it's not them, it's me. Y'all remember this? I was like, yeah, all right, they got his water, man. I don't know what he drank. I don't know if they put it in the Gatorade. They fucked him off. But when it came down to Usyk and Fury to be made, nobody was confused. And it got done. And don't tell me, oh, it's because Turki Al-Sheikh was involved. Bullshit. Because Turki Al-Sheikh said AJ and Wilder's next. The condition wasn't, Wilder didn't have to beat Parker to get that fight done. He said it's next. Wilder lost to Parker. AJ beat Otto Wallin. And AJ said no. Y'all think I'm bullshitting? Go ask Tay Jones. Go ask Tay Jones. But I don't know what I'm talking about. So shout out to AJ. Yeah, you caught it, bruh. You caught it. Undefeated my ass. They always have to thump us. Always. 1 second, y'all. They always have to thump us. Always. You're not above it. So when I look at these knuckle draggers, it's not about race, it's not about race. I could bring that YN up here right now and be like, name the people on this damn page. And I could have been a bunch more. Name the people here and tell me what they did. He can't do it. And I'm not going to ask about the history and nothing like that. But you see, what I'm saying is these cats are out of touch. And when I see cats my age on here shucking and jiving and cutting jigs, I played that video for you, Mark. What up? I played that video for you of this dude named, what's his name? Jason Jig. And got on there and put it out online that he said, what if I told you, they Floyd Mayweather lost to Sergio Martinez and they scrubbed the internet on it. And then he said, oh, well, Floyd literally, he pulled a Haney. And I'm watching this. I'm like, is he trolling? And somebody pointed me to his TikTok. Now, I'm not on TikTok. But this dude, his name is Jason Jig. See, shit like that is dangerous to the sport. And he actually has a YouTube. I stumbled upon it. I said, this is like that dude. I clicked on it, and he's on there. He was talking about the Keyshawn Davis situation. I was like, oh, come on, bro. Come on. Come on. Yeah, Brother Reef, he was not trolling. He was dead ass. He legitimately took the Martinez and Williams fight and said, this is Floyd Mayweather getting knocked out and nobody wants to talk about it. And I said, he has to be trolling. He was dead ass. Now, this guy has a boxing channel on YouTube. I don't know the numbers. I didn't check. I saw it. I said, oh, this is dude. But because he's talking about a hot topic in boxing right now, sometimes people, now there's a lot of people that might not like Keyshawn, or people just looking for boxing news, and they'll just innocently go to his channel and become a regular, not understanding that this guy's an idiot. He's an idiot, and I'm disappointed in him. Donado, what up? I'm disappointed. And see what I'm talking about? See, that's dangerous. When you have a platform, you have a responsibility. The first thing he should do is he needs to take that that Paul Williams Martinez. I mean, come on, brother. We all look alike, man. You didn't know that wasn't Floyd Mayweather? Paul Williams is like 6 feet tall. Floyd is like 5'5". There's something called box rec. He did a whole video and then dragged Devin Haney for some reason in that video. He pulled a Haney. What are you talking about, man? And it becomes the blind leading the blind. And I'm going to tell you something else. Because he fired that Haney shot, he might have got another 50 subs off of that. And I see y'all in the chat. Salute. I'm just cooking. Salute to all of you. Much love. Dragging your brothers for no reason. And what I'm saying is, you're actually discrediting Sergio Martinez. Rico, what up? You're actually discrediting Sergio Martinez because you're getting his record wrong. You're disrespecting Paul Williams and Floyd Mayweather because you're getting the two brothers mixed up. And I use the words brothers when I'm referring to Floyd Mayweather. I use that term very loosely because he's a jerk himself. But you put an L on him that didn't even happen. Now, anybody with sense could look at that and be like, this nigga don't know what he's talking about. But what about the person who was born in 2015? He's 10 years old now. And he likes boxing. He's trying to get educated. Comes across your channel, and you're arming him with the wrong thing. You're giving him rubber bullets in a real war. And yes, we're at war out here. Afro-Rican G, where you been, brother? Good to see you. It's ridiculous. And then when I come on here and I have to have these type of conversations with these type of memes, Negroes want to act like they don't know what I'm talking about. Negroes want to say, oh, you know, you're always talking about race. When is it not about race? How Deontay Wilder was treated, you going to tell me race had nothing to do with that? All of those things that were discovered, the track record of Tyson Fury, his relationship with Daniel Kinahan. How about this? Has any of these major sporting media outlets, have they ever once mentioned Daniel Kinahan? No. But everybody mentioned the gangster side of Jay Prince, right? Everybody tore down Al Heyman, right? The man has never spoken. Y'all can't even tell me how his voice sounds. I've heard people allege that Al Heyman was washing drug money by way of music and boxing. I'm like, where'd that come from? Where did that come from? What are you talking about? Drug money now? So Al's some sort of kingpin? When you talk about promoters and managers jerking their fighters, who's the face of that? Don King? Excuse me. How did Bob Arum get a hold of that little company called Top Rank?
What?
Did he not hijack that from Muhammad Ali, or do you young cats know that? You don't believe me? Well, you know, don't matter. But I want you to look at this video. I play it often.
All my troubles come more nigga. Yeah, it makes me mad. Why you niggas are supposed to get somebody for you?
How much longer do you think your
It
mom
makes me so mad. Long enough to beat your ass if you fuck up. That's right. You might not get out of this stadium tonight. You gotta be cool because you've been watched.
That last person you see in that video at the end, that was Bob Arum. The year was like 1975. Bob Arum was old then. He was like 104 back then. Okay? That's right, Coach Hudson. He double-crossed Elijah Muhammad's son. Bob Arum got as much blood on his hands dicking around in boxing as Don King ever had. Top Rank's officers were raided by the FBI. Raided by the FBI, right? He was brought to court, right? He had to admit to fixing fights and paying off judges. Carlos says that was Angelo Dundee. I don't think so, brother. But if I'm wrong, the premise is still the same. Bob Arum was around back then, and he hijacked Top Rank from Muhammad Ali. That's my point. It could be Angelo Dundee. It looked like Bob Arum to me. He admitted to fixing fights. The FBI raided the officers of Top Rank. This is the true story. Look it up. Paying off refs and everything. And the last thing that he did that was in the public eye was working with Daniel Kinahan. Did the ESPN give you that information, or did y'all have to come here? That dude, Jason Jigg, and I'm name dropping. I'm not hiding it anymore. I'm not hiding it anymore. Forget that. I'll play it again. Give me a minute. I'm not hiding it anymore. Because these dudes need to be called out. They're being irresponsible. Showbiz, the grown adolescent, because I'm not going to call him an adult. With that big channel, he has a responsibility. What makes it so difficult to do the right thing? Look at the difference between what he does and what Blue Blood Sports TV does. Both big channels, both have a huge fan base. Both people have hundreds of thousands of people that rely on him. The difference, rely on them. The difference is Blue tells the truth. Showbiz caters to these brainless freaks who have these crushes on these fans and have unconditional hatred towards these other fighters. They crush on certain fighters, They crush on certain fighters, which is weird to me. And their rivals, they hate on them because they go to these channels to get that feel good. And I tell y'all, you're not going to get that feel good if you a Tank fanatic. Listen to the word now, because to be a fanatic is not a good thing. That's why I don't like using the term fan. Fan is short for fanatic. To be a fanatic of something is dangerous. I'm a fan of no man or woman. I'm a supporter of the sport. So when I tell y'all guys, if you a Tank fanatic, don't come here. Because what I'm going to say is not going to feel good. And I can articulate and explain why I don't like that kid. And I can do it without saying, hey man, he's trash in the ring. Because that's a lie. He's not trash. He's underachieving. And you YNs, as y'all call yourselves, and you grown adolescents with YN mentality, grown ass people. I'm listening to BFTB 2 days ago. Grown ass man said that Tank Davis was better than Muhammad Ali. I almost punched my monitor. That dude, Mag 7, I blocked him from from BF's channel. I clicked on his name with all my channels and I blocked him. He can't even darken my doorstep. I don't want him finding my channel by accident at all. And when you listen to these people talk on these panels, you can tell that there's something wrong with them. Him, Press, all of these dudes that go on. BFTB exposes these dudes. All you got to do is listen. You think these aren't just snazzy one-liners I create? How many times you heard me say, all you got to do is let them talk? Number one, they tell on themselves. Twofold. They let you know they lack education. They let you know they don't support the sport. They let you know that they're in the a lot of them are in the closet. The way they talk about these fighters, they should be told about Clarissa Shields. Yo, man, I don't care. I support Clarissa, man. You see her ass? Well, that makes sense because you're a man and she chocolate and she got a nice butt. Okay, that makes sense. But when you're talking like that and you're fighting, not saying the gay shit, I hear it, bro. You dudes will talk about that young man's hair, his hair. You're a grown man. Yo, I like his swag. You know, I like those jeans. You know what I mean? I like that, how he wears hair. You 50, bruh. He's dressing like your grandson. You're 50, man. You talk about this man's braided hair? Please shut up. Let me save you from yourself. Please shut up. 88 Sports Talk in that super chat. Much love. He says, ban list still in effect. Tyson Fury still can't come to the States, right? Exactly. And this guy was a WBC heavyweight champion in the world. Deontay, quote unquote, according to the public, he wasn't shit anyway, right? But y'all celebrated like hell when Fury beat him, right? Banned from the States because of his association with Daniel Kennedy, who's still at large. ESPN doesn't say anything. And I'm not lying about that. You could look it up. The man can't come to America anymore. And America hasn't said anything. You want to tell me it's not about race? Let Deontay have been friends with, I don't know, let's say this was Al Heyman on the run. And Deontay was a WBC champion and he couldn't go fight in the UK. That'd be front page news. Don't tell me it wouldn't be. The man said, Tank Davis, I told BF in the chat, I said, you got to make that a short. If he does not, I'm going to go clip it. And if you didn't hear it, I'm going to play it for you. Because BF stopped smiling, because usually he laugh at these clowns. He stopped smiling. People there was a couple of Tank fans on the panel was like, whoa, 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 what? You don't go that far. And that's a grown man. He probably got kids of his own. But what do I always say? People have to qualify to talk boxing with you. Is that true, Adrian? He said Mag 7 started, he said he started watching boxing with Tank Fort Ryan Garcia. Well, there it is right there. There it is, what did I just say? You see, people have to qualify to talk boxing with you. I'm at a point in my life when I'm talking about pension plans, retirement, how much money am I going to see in my pension? You know, I need about 8 to 9 racks. What do I need to do to accelerate this process? I'm talking about investment, stocks, bonds, investment properties. I'm supposed to argue with a 14-year-old who was just born literally damn near 10 years ago. In my mind, I'm like, this kid was born yesterday. And then he wants to put his 2 cents in. No, you know what I'm saying? What you need to do is you got to get in crypto, and then you got to buy that townhouse right there. It's like, young man. I appreciate your input, and I appreciate your efforts, but I am not listening to a child who's easily distracted by $2,000 pair of jeans and you're masturbating at 1,000 miles an hour whenever you get a minute. Please, do some growing. Adults are speaking over here. Be young, be free. Okay? If it makes you feel better, I'll research what crypto is. Okay? Now run along. I told y'all the story. Back in the 90s, I was dating a 40-year-old chick. I told y'all the story, but it bears repeating. She was in her mid-40s, and damn it, she was fine. She had a son my age. He was in the military. She told me, I will come pick you up. I don't want to meet your friends. I'm not picking you up in front of your building. I had myself a little beeper. She said, I will beep you. That means come outside. Meet me around the back of your building. I don't want to meet your boys. I'm not calling your crib. I don't want to meet your mom, your brother. I don't want to meet nobody. I am a secret. And the moment you violate that, we're done. I'm like, yes, ma'am. I told y'all the story where I got all dressed up and we went to this lounge, and we was somewhere in the village, whatever. Went to this lounge and all of her co-workers were there. Now, mind you, I was in my early 20s. I'm a kid. right? I walk in with her. We sit down at like this long couch with a circle table. There's finger food there. And she's talking with some coworkers. Now, mind you, this woman is literally like I think she's 22 years older than me at that time. Salute, Miss Fields. And the conversations that they were having were over my goddamn head. They were talking about, hey man, so the company's moving down to Virginia, and yeah, you know, what's going on with our 401k? Yeah, because you know I'm trying to roll it over to a Roth, and you know, and I'm sitting there, I got my head down, I'm looking around, and I'm like, oh God, please don't ask me anything. You know why? Because I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. They were talking about the stock market. It was all another language to me. And I'm like, God, please, God, please, God, please, because I'm going to say something. I'm going to sound like an idiot. I just envisioned them asking me a high-tech question, and I try and answer it, and then the whole bar will just stop and stare at me. Like, God, where'd you get this guy at? And I'm looking around. I was so insecure that I almost stood up and went to the bathroom and just hung out there. Hold on one second, y'all. I almost went to the bathroom and hung out there and just looked at the table and was like, all right, when is she ready to leave? I don't want to sit there. I was out of my league, and I did not try to play myself. I did not try to play myself and immerse myself into the conversation. I shook everyone's hand. I sat down. I was dressed real casual. I had some jeans, a button up, some Air Force Ones. And I just sat there, looked around. You know, I just sat there. I was detached from the conversation. I didn't even give anybody eye contact because I didn't want them to ask me, hey, so what do you do for a living? Man, I was a college student, and no. I wasn't in college. I was bouncing at a club and then doing security on the books. And I was bouncing at a club. I was still trying to figure out my life. Damn, what year was that? 94? 95? Lord of mercy. I've never been more nervous in my life. But she did a good job. We left and we had, enjoyed the rest of the night. But I was like, man. In other words, family, I knew better. I'll tell y'all, you know why I'll never lose a debate? Because you'll never find me arguing about something that I don't know about and can't back it up with facts. Tramel said he was 5 years old. Hey, bro. I don't feel it, but I guess I'm an OG. I'm going to be 50 this year, and I say that proudly. Everything I tell you, it comes from a place of experience. I've goofed off and effed up enough in my life. It doesn't get any more imperfect than me. Trust me. Where I'm at in life, it took work, a lot of work. And I look back and there's a lot of decisions I made. I'd say, man, I could have been in a better place if I did this, and that. I could have should have listened to my mama, should have listened to my daddy. And but you know what? You can't turn back the hands of time. Hell no, I'm not perfect. But my opinions come from the facts. And what I'm not gonna do is argue with these ends over here over boxing. I view the landscape and I look at what's going on and I point out the discrepancies. And I say, well, look, man, look at all this. Look what they did to Deontay. What is going on here? The Daniel Kennedy thing, I had to have a white man. And shout out to Art Hostage, because I found him by accident. And he knows all about that, all of that crap going on in the UK with Daniel Kennedy. And he's the one, I brought him on the show 2 times. If you hear, you know. And he was dropping the nuclear bombs on it. Why I had to learn all that from a white man in the UK? And I had to bring him on here for you YNs to believe what I'm saying. Don't listen to me, but you listen to him, though. I had to bring him over here. Like, yo, look, I'm not making it up. And I go to there's no Fury fans in America. There was Wilder haters. And I say, yeah, what y'all think about Daniel Kennedy and him being the reason why Tyson Fury is no longer allowed on American soil? I still talk to people that don't know about that. I'm like, oh, you didn't know? What, you just thought I was in my feelings because Deontay lost to him? No. No. They had to cheat to beat that man. And y'all let him get away with it. Because if this was Tommy Morrison, it'd be all over the news. And then when I tell these N-words about this stuff, all of a sudden they get ADD. Oh, no, I don't want to know about it. Oh, now you don't want to talk about it. And when I always say things like it's deeper than boxing, you don't have the attention span or the education to really engage with me about this. All of a sudden you don't want to do it. You see what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. So when I look at what was done to Devin Haney, and I look at how many of you YNs or old dudes with YN mentality, when I say, hold on, there's a problem here. It was boxing. April 21st to April 20th, I forgot what date they fought last year. By the time I landed in St. Martin, I got a phone call. They say, bro, don't say nothing, but yo, the word is Ryan cheated. I'm like, oh God, say it ain't so. And y'all know, why did I say, I hope it's wrong? Did you not hear me say, I don't want to go through this because I know what comes with it? Do you remember me saying that? I said, man, I hope VADA messed up. I hope the athletic commission messed up because I don't want to go through this because I know what comes through it. You think I wanted to deal with this? I would rather it have been clean so we could just get a rematch and move forward. You think I wanted to deal with this Ryan Garcia shit? Because look at what we did. Look at what we dealt with. Even right now. And salute Stormy. Yeah. Let's talk about that for a second. Let me just make my statement. Even right now, with all the evidence, people are not holding Ryan and Tiafimo and Oscar and B-Hop. They're not holding him accountable. How the hell is Devin Haney the villain in all of this? And how the hell are you N-words not standing in the pocket for what's righteous? Your hatred is that real? Now let's read what the sensei said. Please reiterate Bob's relations with Kinahan and the multi-million in consulting fees prior to Fury being banned from the U.S. Were those fees of ensuring certain results in bouts? Absolutely it was. I was in Vegas for Wilder Fury 3. There was nothing but MTK Global shirts out there. That company vanished. And what the hell were those consulting fees? Y'all forgot the fight was supposed to be, I think, in, what was it, July? And it was postponed because he had got COVID. And then they had to do it in October, or was the months reversed? I might have it backwards. But he left the country. Was he tested by VADA? No. He got on some bullshit. He cycled off. They tried to do some nonsense with the gloves again. Check my channel. He got dropped twice in the 4th round. It was a long count. And then round 11, he's bouncing around like it's round 1. And I'm like, man, if y'all don't know this 6'9", 300-pound fat dude bouncing around at round 11, Deontay tired. This fat motherfucker bouncing around like it's round 11. But he didn't cheat? Question, what happened with Francis Ngannou? Where was his power at? He done hit Ngannou in the head with an elbow. Nothing happened. Got dropped in that fight. And some people saying, nah, I think Fury lost. Okay. Gets in the ring with Usyk 2 times, almost got knocked out the first time. And then got outboxed and battered in the second time. That's not the guy that fought Deontay Wilder, man. I ain't got to lie to y'all. But if you have an unconditional hatred towards Deontay Wilder, I can't change your mind. And I'm not trying to. When I see you YNs, when I get technical like this really isn't technical to me. It's not technical. And in fact, as it pertains to black people in the sport of boxing, it's actually typical. Why do you think I send you YNs and old people with YN mentality to Stormy B-Man's channel? To Scrapbook Boxing's channel. You want to get educated? Go to Scrapbook Boxing. There's a history of how black fighters been treated. And I don't care whether we were getting beaten and battered and making peanuts back then to making millions of dollars today. The treatment is the same. There's certain things you can't stop, like the money. But goddamn it, they're going to treat you like an N-word. And what's sad is you black fans have been so conditioned that you're playing into it and you don't even know it. And when we try to bring it to your attention, your ego's so big that you don't even care. Because you don't want to be corrected. And that's a problem with most of us. We don't want to be corrected. What is the problem in saying, hey man, I was mistaken? Oh shit, I didn't know that. Yo, my bad, I ain't know all of that. Y'all know about the conversation I had on the DMs with Quentin Rampage Jackson? And y'all go ahead and click that link. Thank you, Shawa. That's Scrapbook Boxing. That's for those who want to get educated. That nothing he puts there is for debate. The fighters he's talking about, he's interviewed them. A lot of them are not here anymore. Scrapbook Boxing is a gem. To have someone like this on YouTube in our community is a cheat code. Because what he's doing, he's arming you. But I know, that's a black man and you can't see his face and how can I trust him? Y'all don't say that shit about Rummy's Corner. You can tell it's a white man. I don't know how that man looks. I don't know if he showed his face or not. But yo, listen to that. This is ridiculous. Y'all been trained. Y'all have been trained. Why is it that he fought life and death with Francis Ngannou, and Ngannou got in there with AJ and was treated like the novice he was? AJ did what he had to do. I said, well, Ngannou is not used to boxing, man. Now, if he was in there throwing kicks and elbows and takedowns, he'd beat up any heavyweight champion in an octagon. But he's limited to throwing hands. AJ went in there, boom, boom. I'm like, wait a minute. How come Tyson Fury? I said, man, I know I'm watching the same sport everyone's watching. Now, why is it that AJ went in there? What you saw was a fish out of water. Submariner ain't shit when you throwing hands with him on a beach. But let him touch some salt water. He's going to bust your ass. Little nerd fact right there. He was a fish out of water. And AJ said, I ain't gonna play with this guy. I'm gonna get him out of there. And the first thing I said was, what Why couldn't Tyson Fury? And then it dawned on everybody, because it didn't dawn on me. I knew it dawned on everyone else. Tyson Fury is a fraud. He's a cheater. Got in there with Usyk. You know, the guy that came up from cruiserweight. Not as strong as AJ, but he can box. And boxed him so well, he almost knocked Fury out in the first fight. Oh yeah, Mr. Shelton, I remember that. So when we talk about boxing and its history, it's a direct reflection on how we was treated as a people. The sad fact is that our own people have been conditioned to treat each other like this. Y'all say this weird shit about Deontay and Devin and Errol. Y'all don't even know why y'all saying that. Y'all just say it. I was having a conversation with my boy, and I was like, no, he's telling me something about Devin. I said, no, that's not true. He says, oh, man, you believe in that Bill Haney rhetoric? I said, well, do you know I know Bill? He said, oh, you know Bill. I said, yes. I can call him right now. I know Bill. And I said, what you just said, I know where you got it from. And that person's lying. I know where you got it from. So I said, well, hold on a minute. You heard it, right? You said the Bill Haney lies or whatever he said. I said, tell me, when did he lie? Pick out, you said lies, that's in plural, meaning more than one. So give me two. You see you step in it? You see how they step in it? I said, oh, the Bill Haney Kool-Aid, he said. The Bill Haney Kool-Aid. Because he be lying, meaning he tells more than one. You don't say, oh, he lied. Like I had one brother tell me, oh, Bill lied again. I said, again? What are you talking? I said, okay. I will dissect some shit when you say it to me. So plural, meaning more than one. So give me two. And of course, he couldn't answer the question. He couldn't answer it. So he tried to walk me around the block, and I stopped him because I didn't have much time. I stopped him. I said, brother. You asked me about if I call anybody a liar. Talk to me about Tyson Fury. I'm like, when did he lie? You want me to pick a situation? I'm going to need at least an hour. And I hope you don't have ADD. And we both got phones. I can reference everything. And I'll ask you shit about Fury that I know you don't know. And I'll ask you to check my sources and check what I know to see if I'm lying. Same thing with Ryan Garcia. And the same person I'm talking about didn't know that Ryan Garcia went on a racist tirade. It was only the biggest news in 2024 in boxing. Because a lot of these knuckle draggers went on a campaign to protect him. Floyd Scofield Sr., Showbiz, in the litness of other niggas and knuckle draggers. When I talk about my stalkers, this dude Buckle Up or Sports Prediction 101, whatever, he's probably watching right now. But I don't have to lie on him either. He got more videos about me, in my opinion, than he has actually about the whatever I'm talking about. I was sent a screenshot. On his channel right now, there's a video up there, something about Drew's mad at Ryan Garcia, whatever. Well, first of all, I didn't click on the video. I don't know what he said, but why is it got to be I'm mad at Ryan Garcia? Black man, why aren't you mad about Ryan Garcia? Where are your videos about Ryan Garcia? I'm willing to bet if I go to this channel and just put in Ryan Garcia, he's going to have videos about everyone else's opinion about Ryan except his own. Did he do a video? I don't know. Did he do a video about his detest about Ryan Garcia, or why he feels our outrage is false? Because I've seen that. Fake outrage. LDBC, fake outrage. Well, forget about our fake outrage. What is your opinion, black man? Oh, he ain't talking to me. Press 1 if you stole it. He's not talking about me. Ryan's not talking about me. TFE was not talking about me. Okay, well, he's talking about another black man. How you feel about that? You think I like that TFE looked at a Tank and said, whichever monkey wants the banana? That's cool? And I'm just waiting. I said, well, what is Tank gonna say? Short answer, nothing. He didn't say shit, but he got all the smoke for everyone that looks like him and the people that share the religion with him. Uncle Jay, I see you. Salute. Paper route. If I miss you in the chat, I miss all you in the chat. Know that I love you. I'm just cooking this morning. In this third installment of Simian Saturdays. Look up what a simian is. It's an ape. And this meme has meaning. See that N? The whiplashes on his brother's back. See that N right there? That's the years of the master doing that to you. And now you're in a business suit doing his work, doing his bidding. Showbiz. You're doing his bidding. That N on his back in keloid scars. That's all of us. And that's how we're viewed. We need to remember how we was treated from back then and to this day, pun intended. So I look at all you YN strange. The OG Mr. Mont said, these kids have no connection to their ancestors. And the truth is, not only is he correct in that, but these dudes like Showbiz and these other coons and knuckle draggers over here that are doing this for the money, that rage war against the LDBC, these guys have no connections to themselves. So when we say it's deeper than boxing, man, I played that. I play it again. This is what Ali was talking about, man.
Right. All my troubles come more nigga. Yeah, it makes me mad. Why you niggas are so against somebody for you?
How much longer do you think your
It
mom
makes me so mad. Long enough to beat your ass if you fuck up. That's right. You might not get out of the stable tonight. You gotta be cool because you've been watched.
Nah, that was Bob Arum, fam. That was definitely Bob Arum. Hold on. That was definitely Bob Arum. Oh, for fuck's sake. Hold on. Let me convert this picture for y'all. What is this? Hold on, I'm gonna convert this picture because it's very important. It's very, very important. I'm gonna show y'all. Had all kinds of crazy shit going on here. All right, I'm gonna show y'all. That was definitely Bob Arum. That wasn't Angelo Dundee. Now I know I saved that son of a monkey. Wait a minute. All files. There we go. Oh man, hold on, man. I'm sorry. As JPEG, god damn it. Okay. Oh, this damn thing won't open, will it? This thing is giving me an issue. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm sorry. My bad. Because I got a really good picture and I want to show it to y'all. It's very important. Maybe if I say it as a... Let's see if that helps. Lord have mercy. All right, this thing's being a douche. I'm gonna get this picture. I'm gonna get this picture. Yeah, you can't stop this one. There's always more than one way to skin a cat, ladies and gentlemen. You always got to think outside the box, man. That's what makes you have to have a marine mentality. You always got to think outside the box. Okay, so I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna download it here. There we go. Downloads. Okay, here's the picture right here, y'all. That was definitely Bob Arum in that pic. That's him and Muhammad Ali in the 70s sometimes. That was definitely before I was oh no, Audacity Podcast. The meet and greet is in Vegas this year. The meet and greet's in Vegas this year. Could somebody put the information in the chat so I could pin it? But that was definitely Bob Arum in that pic. That's him right there with Ali. I don't know what year that is. That's before 75, definitely. That's probably like 73, 74. That's a young Bob Arum with Muhammad Ali. So when we tell you this man is almost 100 years old and he has a trail of destruction and corruption, boss, in boxing, and the latest thing that he did was trying to deal with Daniel Kinahan. And if Daniel Kinahan don't get caught, he's still doing business with him. And that's the reason why Deontay Wilder was robbed out of his socks. When people say, oh man, you can't cheat in boxing, that's why we got commissions. Man, Kano Loco said commissions be in the damn locker room when fighters are getting their hands wrapped, and instead of watching their hands wrapped, they're on their phone playing Candy Crush. They ain't watching shit. You can't cheat in boxing. We said the water got poisoned. It was like, yo, they can't do that. It's like, no, they can. By the time I heard it, I said, they still do that? They can do that still? They can get away with that? Nah, Drew, they're just making it up. Well, then I saw this after Wilder Fury 2. What's that? When he fought Dillian White, someone handed him a bottle of water. He said, have you had this on you the whole time? Are you sure? Before he took it. I'm like, why is he so adamant about where the water came from? Pinned at the top, that is the tickets and the information to the LDBC meet and greet. And salute, Carlo. Salute. That's the information right there for the meet and greet. I pinned it. And where y'all at it? Y'all go subscribe to my other channel. I'm live on there right now too. The Painful Excellence Podcast. You know, I dual stream And I do that for a reason, because all I'm doing is collecting data. Y'all already know what I say. Documentation beats conversation. And when I tell you that YouTube has systematically stepped in it, they have. They have. So I'll just put that in the chat too. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Pep Talk. One channel is supposed to be doing something totally different from the other channel, but I found that it is more it's better to dual stream. You learn a lot and you see the inconsistencies. You see the inconsistencies in see the inconsistencies in YouTube, but that's something else. But since I'm on the top, I just saw that short video. If you haven't seen this Jason Jig thing, and he has a YouTube channel. It came up on my algorithm like 3 days ago, and I said, "Oh, it's this fool." And he had went live and everything and was talking, and I'm like, "Say, bro, what the fuck?" I'm like, "Is he serious?" And he inadvertently became the enemy. And the thing is, when you spread false information and you don't care to correct yourself, he's not looking for the truth. He's looking for subs and he's looking to make money. So he's going to come up being contrary. And here's the danger. Old media that has some money, they're going to back jigs like that. His name is Jason Jig, for fuck's sake. They will back things like that. Do y'all have any concept as to how dangerous that is? Do y'all know that that's dangerous? And he has the perfect name, Jason Jig. Jig? I mean, let it sink in for a minute. They look for clowns like this. They use them, they weaponize dudes like this. That's the word. They weaponize dudes like this. And he doesn't give a damn, because to him, first of all, he don't love boxing because he's new to it. He doesn't love boxing. It's just a hot topic. And he's spreading misinformation. Now, he was talking about the Keyshawn thing, and I'm like, all right, I don't know whether he agrees with it or saying Keyshawn played himself or whatever. But he'll catch a fan or maybe 10, some Keyshawn haters, some people that thinks that he knows what he's talking about. But if he gets enough traction off of speaking nonsense, like how I'm about to play for you, that's the dangerous part that I'm talking about. And there's no responsibility. None. We have become so irresponsible. But don't take my word for it. Look at this.
What if I told you Floyd Mayweather really wasn't undefeated? 2007, Madison Square Garden. Floyd Mayweather was ruled knocked out by Sergio Martinez in round 2. Jerry, why haven't I heard about this? Why am I just seeing this? Why does it say he's undefeated on BoxRec? They later tainted Sergio Martinez supplements to make it seem like he was on that stuff to beat Floyd, and this fight inevitably or essentially got erased from boxing history. But this was all a ploy by Floyd and his team to keep his undefeated record alive. Really, Floyd pulled a Haney. He took down all film, all footage of this fight because he felt like he was cheated out of this fight. He felt like this should have been a no contest or a victory for himself. And I give it to Floyd. This stain on his career has been covered up and erased pretty damn good. But there's a few guys out there who knows about this fight. You don't see a lot of people talk about it because a lot of people do think Sergio Martinez was on that stuff when he beat Floyd. So a lot of people don't bring this fight up. But just like with Ryan, Austrian or not, PEDs or not, this shot would have put Floyd out. He didn't need it. This was a loss, a knockout loss in Floyd Mayweather's career that we all like to pass over. But you guys let me know, should Floyd have got a loss or should this have been a no contest fight?
I know we all look alike, but goddamn, Jig. That's a real video, bro. See what I mean? And somebody, a new kid that was just born in 2007, 2008, that wants to learn something will come across that video and say, hey, man, why did Floyd do that? Crazy stuff, right? Now the 86 in that super chat. Salute to you, good brother. He says salute Drew and salute to the mighty LDBC. Diamond, what up? Oh, was you on that panel where dude said on BF's panel the other day? When dude said Tank was better than Muhammad Ali? Was you there? Somebody, man, I almost had an aneurysm when that dude Mag 7 said that. Yeah, see, I'm not, look, y'all, I'm not lying. I couldn't believe that. Look, man, you could be a Tank fan. I don't care about that. But to say that he's better, wow, man. Wow. I was making the point about Quentin Rampage Jackson a little while ago. I got away from that point. I DM'd him at first in total peace. And I asked him, I said, brother, are you okay? Because I know he was getting bombarded after his Devin Haney comments. And I said, are you all right? And he responded hostile, which I expected. And I just said, well, look, the reason why people are hostile towards you is because of what you said. Two things. First, you said, oh man, no, you don't sue anybody in fighting. You don't sue anybody in fighting, which is not accurate. People get sued in MMA. People get sued in boxing all the time. So that's number one. Number two, you didn't know with Ryan Garcia. I said, you said you love the kid, but the kid don't love you because he hates all N-words and F all Muslims. You're not Muslim, but you are the N-word to him. So then he responds to me hostile again. He says, oh, well, you should know that I didn't know that he said that. Okay, well, you're speaking out of ignorance. You know what else you don't know about, Quentin? You don't know about the lawsuit. There is a lawsuit, but in what universe does a fighter beat another fighter and then the fighter that got beaten just sues him for beating him? That's what people are running around saying. You know how stupid that sounds? I have a copy of the lawsuit in my phone. I have it in my email. So I said, brother, you don't know what the lawsuit's about. You didn't read it because, if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the book. But whatever. So as I'm trying to talk logic, he's emotional. This is a grown-ass 50-year-old man emotionally. Oh, well, you know, the only bitches are contacting me. Are you a bitch? Like, okay, well, you know what? Fuck you. Your whole life is overrated. Your acting career, your MMA career is overrated. All right? You, of all people, should want a clean sport because the 2 times Wanderlei Silva knocked your head off in Japan, he was juiced because they allowed juicing in Pride. You could have gotten killed yourself. Where's the lie? You could have gotten killed yourself. And as soon as he fought Wanderlei the 3rd time over here in the octagon in UFC, Wanderlei was drug-free and quit and knocked his ass out. Okay? So instead of having an adult conversation, you want to get like that? Well, fuck you then. And he got a boxing match coming up against what's his name? That Jake Paul knocked out. Well, he got I haven't heard anything of it since then, but they got a rivalry. They're fighting. And I said, well, I hope he knocks your ass out because you're a piece of shit. And that was the end of that. So now is motherfuck Quentin Rampage Jackson forever. Don't care what he does. Don't care how he's handled. Fuck his whole career. And that's the end of it. I reached out to him with an open hand and an open heart to say, no, brother, it's this. If you don't understand, it's this. This is why. This is what happened. And I know you didn't know. And I was going to send them some links. So you had to not have known about this then, because I know you wouldn't have been saying that. But he set the tone. So now it's fuck you. You see, if your parents have failed you, and as a grown man, you ain't got time to, you're not trained in the art of conversation. You could dial it back and listen. You see, that's why he lost. The fights that he lost was because he mentally broke himself. That's what happened. All that screaming and slamming people around. I also saw him try to slam people around and get choked out in a triangle choke. I say, whoa, you don't need to do that. Calm down for a minute. Calm down for a minute. Fighting is a thinking man's sport. I'm sure you know that. Being ridiculous. What do you think debate is? Do you know someone could beat you in an argument and they could be completely wrong? Y'all know what debate is? You hear this all the time about goalposts moving. Do you know what that is? Somebody can move you completely off your goalpost, get you emotional, and you could be right in theory. You could be right in the facts, but if he gets you off your post and get you cussing and screaming, he got you. He moved the goalpost, started talking about some other shit, now you screaming, looking stupid. But if you stuck to the facts, you'd have bodied him. When homie got up on here and started to insult me personally, I'm like, okay, you said all that. But let's get back to Tank. He couldn't do it. Oh, well, I'm not a Tank fan. Okay, there it is. You want to defend somebody you know nothing about. So he went here, he went here, he went here. But what's the reality? He didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. He was a fan. He was a hater disguised as a fan. And he was exposed. And this is why I have a short fuse for things like that. That's why when I go to my brother's comment sections and I see someone acting crazy, I'll block them. By the time they get to my channel, they can't type anything. I just don't deal with it. Mag 7 is blocked. Sports Prediction 101 is blocked. Buckle Up Boxing is blocked. Press is blocked. Mike S, I don't know where he is, but he's blocked. And you know, I'm glad I brought him up. I'm glad I brought him up. Because he's vanished. right? And if Tank wins, he'll pop back up. But here's my point. He was in the chat bringing up Deontay Wilder. I'm like, what are you doing that for? What are you doing that for? Everything I say about any fighter on my channel is well within bounds. You might not like it, but I say this all the time. Pick the time when I lied on these fools. Whether you're Tyson Fury or Tank Davis or Ryan Garcia or Teofimo Lopez, you did something wrong, I held your feet to the flames. Talk about it all. And when you do something good, I talk about it. When Ryan Garcia beat Oscar Duarte, check my resume. I said he did a damn good job, man. Him and Derrick James might have something good here. If Ryan could stay focused, that's what I said. When Teofimo Lopez beat up on Josh Taylor, I said, man, Josh Taylor couldn't touch him. Did I not? Did I not? Okay. But getting back to Rampage, you don't sue in boxing. I said, man, you know what everybody that says that don't know what the fuck the lawsuit's about. And by the way, and thank you for reminding me, Rick C. Y'all didn't know that Floyd Mayweather sued Victor Ortiz. And he won. Now, Victor got knocked out in that fight. Victor got knocked out in that fight. In fact, the ending of that fight was so controversial. When I went to work the next day, there was so many people mad at me. Oh, you justifying that? I'm like, yes. Oh, no, that was a sucker. That was somebody at the press conference. Oh, well, you know that was a bitch move? And people were like, man, nah, we only talking to real media. Get out of here. Wasn't a bitch move. Floyd's punches was within the guidelines of boxing. And what I told everybody in the locker room that Monday I came to work, people were in their feelings. I said, what? I had money on that fight. Nobody paid me. $20, $50. I said, I told you. I didn't know that Floyd was going to beat him by knockout. But that first round, Floyd came out, it was throwing heat. And I said, oh, shit, he's trying to knock this kid out. That little comment, Chavez versus Roger, that fucked with Floyd. And he was throwing heat. Go back and watch the fight. I'd play it right now, but YouTube is ridiculous. He was whooping Victor's ass. Cut him early. And Victor had to do something to get back in the fight. He throws a goddamn headbutt. Then he wants to apologize. He dapped it up, hugged him. Dapped it up, hugged him. Cortez took a point. Cortez says, let's go. He goes in for another hug and kiss. 2-piece, no biscuit, fight over. But I said, hold on, dial it back, man. How'd that happen? Oh, because Floyd hit him when the ref was. I said, no. How'd that happen, y'all? Take me through why that happened. Start from the beginning. See, I said right now, you knuckle draggers and I said a lot of racial things because they were being racist. So I said, you knuckle draggers and you S words, and there was 2 Asians in there. I said, you G words, use your imagination. I said, okay. I said, listen, take me back to how everything started. Because we all saw the same fight. Take me back. What happened? Floyd was beating his ass. Victor got him against the ropes, and then what did he do? Oh, well, he 2-pieced him. He wasn't. I said, what did he do? I said, I'm talking about what happened. Take me through it. We all work for the same department, right? When we got people in that triangle, we're asking what happened so we know what to do next. All right? So this is a homicide right here, right? Tell me what happened now. Let's stick to the facts. Dragnet, just the facts, ma'am, because y'all being a bunch of bitches right now. Yo, he headbutted him, but I said, oh, stop right there. Is headbutting within the guidelines of the rules? No. Okay. And then what happened? Oh, but he took a point. He took a point. I said, okay. So now it's a 10-8 round, no knockdown, right? Justifiably so, right? Because headbutts are not within the guidelines of the rules. Yes or no? See what happens when you keep it simple? No, but he shouldn't have did that. I said, okay, well, what did Joe Cortez do? Well, who's Joe Cortez? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know shit about boxing. The ref. Let's call him the ref. He said time in. What does that mean? Time in means fight, right? Does that mean going for a hug and a kiss? Now, was there malice behind what Floyd did? Yes. But one event was outside the rules. The other one was. I didn't make the rules. Floyd followed the rules. Victor did not. And he seemed pretty fine because he was smiling on that stool. Because he knew he did wrong. And the fact is, remember I say time reveals all truth? We also find out that Victor is a head case, which is why he had a mental collapse in the ring. He had a mental collapse after his fight. What was that against? Was that Maidana? I don't think I need to be getting beat up like this. He's always been soft mentally. So what are we talking about? We have history to back up what I'm saying. We have an event to back up what I'm saying. His behavior backs up what I'm saying. And although it might have been pretty, the ref said time in. And when Joe looked at the scores table to say time in, next thing you know, he turned back around, Victor on the floor. That's what happened. But he said time in. And all you was left with was to say, oh, well, it was unsportsmanlike. You could debate that. But it was within the rules. You know what's not within the rules? God damn it. Having any amount of any narcotic in your bloodstream or urine that's on the ban list by way of the New York State Athletic Commission. Uh-oh. It didn't say we'll overlook a billionth of a gram or 2 grams or an ounce. It said 0 amount we can't discover. They found it on Ryan Garcia. And Ryan Garcia broke the rules, and you niggas went real hard talking about what Osterine doesn't do when the reality is it wasn't supposed to be there. And y'all are making excuses for him right now. So much to the point where y'all are cool saying, hey, man, Oscar said take a year off so he could take a year off. Now he's depressed. You want to say that? You're cool with him taking a year off? He was supposed to destroy Rolly. Went in there and got destroyed. And you knuckle draggers have nothing to say? Oh, I'm sorry. Since y'all don't listen to us, why don't y'all go to Lou DiBella's Twitter when he said that day, Peds matter. Y'all gonna listen to that white man. Y'all gonna go ahead and listen to that white man, because when we say it, you don't listen to us. We look like you. I look like your daddy, your uncle, the dudes in your building, the dudes across the street from you. You just don't believe what I say when I say it. That's cool. But go to Lou DiBella's Twitter or X, whatever they call it, and go to that date. He said, Peds matter. I said, look at this. Did anyone come for him? Did anyone argue with him? No. But if I opened up a Twitter that night and said Peds matter, I'd have 1,000,001 people. Oh, shut up, Drew. You got a big head. I don't care. Oh, LDBC, Lions Den LGBTQ community. Yeah. Lou DiBella said that. Never mind me. But Lou DiBella said that. And he wasn't the only one. Quentin Rampage Jackson. Peds matter. What? You mad at because Devin is doing the right thing within the guidelines of boxing? And you're mad that you didn't have no call to make in Japan? You had to fight dudes that you knew was juiced up? They allowed drug use in Japan. They didn't test for it. They didn't say you can take it, and they just didn't test properly. All those dudes was juiced up. Well, not all, a majority of them were. Fuck out of here. What Devin did was for the safety of all fight sports. That's why I was revolutionary. And for you, a black man, to get half a story and not care about the facts. Well, if you want to hide something from a nigger, put it in the book. And to say, oh, I love Ryan. That's what he said, man. That's what he said. I don't trust these dudes, bro. This is why I don't trust these dudes. Drew, what's your problem with your black people? Bro, look. Just look around. Showbiz. You trust him? All these other niggas running around here that are contrary to what we talk about. You don't have to you could be an unconditional Tank Davis fan. But pick the live when I lied on that kid. Pick one. When I had that YN up here, he couldn't even talk about it. All he was left to do was say what I thought he was going to say. Or I'm not even a Tank fan like that. You're not even a boxing supporter like that. So why are you here, man? Are you cutting down black people for money? All right, when? What? Pick one. Because the kid said he discovered my channel 2 years ago. So in 2 years, you can't pick a live and say, oh, I had a problem when you said A, B, and C. We could have had a dialogue about it. He couldn't do that. So you can't do any of that. And last but not least, you can't show your face. And all you can do is fling insults like a modern woman. You can't shame me. You can insult me, but it's not going to fly. You can't guilt me. All for the sake of you needing to be right. And at the end, what does he say? Oh, but I pulled up though. Hey, you pulled up and looked stupid. You look stupid. You accomplished nothing. All 4 or 5 of your YouTube channels, you on there looking like a homosexual. Like the rest of these kids out here. Tight jeans. Eyeliner, glitter in your hair, painted fingernails. And then when I say, yo, there's something not right with that, and these kids have the temperament of their mothers, but when you ask them about their fathers, it's like never good. And when I say that's a problem in our community, and a lot of that shit be lies, Oprah made a living cutting down black men for over 30 years. But the problem these days is there's so much information out there that people can do their own research. And you find out that only that black men are the most involved fathers in their children's lives, but we are the most desired men, sexually too. Oprah had to get ahead of the goddamn gun for that. She had to get ahead of that. She had a panel, and she called herself correcting black men. Oh, black fathers are the most involved, according to this study. Say, bitch, we knew this 30 years ago, but there was no internet 30 years ago. We were screaming in our houses, in our homes, about, yo, she's lying. But she had a big old platform, and she made a living cutting us down. Well, now the cat's out the bag. And she got ahead of the news as if she made the discovery. No, bitch, you did not. But thank you. You did enough waiting to exhale and all this other. You did enough cutting us down. And this is what it means to be a black man in this world. You cut us down. We're born fighting against the grain. The world, and some of y'all are fighting y'all mothers right now. Because you look like your daddy that left her. I got a video coming up for Pep Talk. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. What this woman is doing to her son. She has no idea. And she's disgusting. But you'd be surprised how common it is. And I wouldn't be surprised. Based off what I'm going to show you is further proof. Y'all remember the video I did on Pep Talk? That light-skinned woman with the blonde hair was talking about how she was dating this dude and she had a threesome with him and his mother. Y'all remember that? She did several panels after that. And the story didn't change. They was like, yo, what the hell? Listen, it's common for these women to be doing this to their sons. But if I talk about that, how am I the villain? How? Is that right? Do you believe in that? You see, that young man didn't want to have that conversation with me. When I had Buckle Up on my panel, after all the cursing out and everything else, I said, brother, what is your problem with me? You said that Monster knew he is cheating. I said that. You said he's stacking his raps. He does. Well, he's not cheating. They do that in Japan. I said, yeah, but I made it up. I made it up? Wait a minute. Did I make it up, or did Stephen Fulton's team have a whole fucking press conference in Japan and say, yo, they stacked their raps over here? Did I make it up, or did I make a video saying, look what they said? And then I got a video sent to me by Rachel Donan. Shout out to Nonito. He fights today, y'all. Then I get a video. She says, look at this. I said, this is stacking, is it not? Yes. And then when the team said, yo, I'm looking out for the safety of my fighter, they had a whole press conference. I said, well, now you got a decision to make. Pack your bags, leave and come back home and don't fight, or stay and fight and don't let that kid hit you. And what did he do? He stayed and fought and let this kid hit him, and he got knocked out. There goes that. But did I make it up? You see, this is what happens when you pay attention to me and not the sport. I don't give a fuck what I did to piss him off. But here's how you handle me. Don't watch me. It's as simple as that. Do not watch me. If you think I'm making it up or you think I'm ugly or whatever, don't watch me. You don't like my news, you think I'm a liar, don't watch me. But every video about me, oh, it's fake outrage when I'm calling out Ryan Garcia's fake outrage. I said Monster knew he stacks his raps. How did Drew find out about it? Somebody who I'm close to, who fought him, sent me a video. And I said, ain't that stacking? And then Cool Boy Steph has a press conference saying this dude stacks his raps. And then I did a video on it. I didn't make shit up. And then after an hour and some change of that, you know what this nigga said to me? You know what, Drew? I'm off your bumper. I said, thank you, brother. And that was the end of it. What do you think he does? Makes another video about me. So he's not a man of his word. Listen, let me tell you something. A lot of y'all might think my brother BF is crazy. He's far from it. I'll tell you something else. High key, I'm not going to say low key, high key, I got less patience than he does. I blocked Black Lies. I blocked Mag 7 just yesterday. I blocked Buckle Up / Sports Prediction 101. I go in this chat and look for niggas I don't fuck with to block them because I don't have no patience for this. Yeah, Shawa, you can stack in two or three states in America you can stack. In Japan, that's just what they do. I think Vegas, I think it's Vegas and somewhere else. I don't quote, it's more than one state in America you can stack. Salute to the village, brother. In that super chat, much love. He said, sorry, Drew, but I just want to make sure everyone in the family in Minnesota be careful. There's a person impersonating a police officer shooting people. Police said, whoa, what? He's shooting people. Is he shooting a particular kind of people? Because that's my next question. Yeah, thank you for that information. I didn't know that. Oh my God. Y'all be careful. Damn. And black people, I know in New York it's different, but y'all in those states where it's like you get pulled over the side of the road, there's nothing. Look, I'm no well, I am an expert. Fuck that. If you don't feel safe, you're not sure about that state trooper or cop, whatever, that county cop behind you, and you're in a fugazi area, you ain't got to listen to me. Let me tell you what I do. I'm going to low speed roll into the nearest gas station where there's cameras and people. I'm going to drop it to below the speed limit. I'm going to wave at the cop, and I'm just going to point with my finger. Low speed. And I don't give a damn if the next gas station is 20 miles away. Low speed. In the event that he gets in front of you and stops you and say, yo, look, man. Look, y'all make me nervous, man. Here's all my information. I was trying to get you to a gas station or a ramp so I can get off the highway where there's some people. Because in these other countries, might as well be in another country, right? These other states, I done seen a lot of weird shit. Oh, that's it right there, Reef? Let me see that real quick. What is that? Man, that's wild. Oh, whoa, these were... These were senators and representatives. What? Oh, nah, bro, this looks personal. Bro, this looks... Wait, still be careful. But this looks personal. Oh, no. That is wild. I don't like that. Thank you for the information, good brother. Ooh, that looks personal. Ooh. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, bullshit. Not really, talking about that. It's really not about boxing this morning. Talking about the discrepancies in the black community and how out of touch the community is. I got more smoke for telling the truth than Tyson Fury got for getting kicked out of the country and cheating, and having a relationship with a notorious drug overlord. Can you believe it? It's weird, right? Yeah, Adrian, Louisiana's different. Texas different. New York, you need a concealed carry. That's an adventure in itself. Need a concealed carry. New York State is behind on their carry laws. They really are, but whatever. I'm good. Anyway. These knuckle draggers are in the way. I don't support them. the icing on the cake is the showbiz coon ass dude. Because you gotta understand, he's been on some nonsense for a while. We just left him alone. But this thing with this petition, this was like way over the top. And again, where was his petition for a clean sport when Ryan Garcia popped? No, he was talking about the hair follicle test will exonerate Ryan Garcia. When that fell on his face, did anyone go to him and say, yo, man, why you lie? Did Buckle Up Boxing, aka Sports Prediction 101, did he go over there and say, hey, man, why'd you lie? I was ready for the hair follicle test to do what it do what it do. So I can go back to these LDBC channels and say, aha. Remember that? Did you have that smoke for them over there? No, you didn't. Because these dudes are so busy wanting to win an argument than to do what's correct. And that's why I don't take these clowns serious, man. Because you can't. You cannot. Because these guys ain't on code. When you start talking about what it is to be black in this world, they can't maintain that conversation. Oh, no, I'm just trying to talk boxing. Yeah, the system, the machine wants you to think like that. They really want you to think like that. Because that means you're sleeping. And they can do whatever they want. That's why what happened to Deontay Wilder happened. Because y'all sleeping. And when we're pointing it out, y'all so busy cutting us down because you don't like him and you don't know why. And you don't like us because we're sticking up for him. You too busy trying to get patted on the back by these racist freaks that run the damn system. Does this make a little more sense right now? You niggas you'd rather wear suits no matter how much those scars are on your back. I'm telling you right now, they use these niggas up until they can't use them anymore. And everybody gets a nigga wake-up call. It'll happen. It happens to all of them. I'm not black. I'm OJ. Okay, look what they did to him. I'm not black. I'm OJ. You all right? Okay. What happened with him? I remember that Bronco chase. I was on every news channel. I was like, oh, snap. Look at that. That's really him. Look at that. And it happens to all you goddamn, knuckle draggers. It happens to all of you. It always happens without fail. That coon running around like it's cool. A petition? A petition. For no running? I bet you that dude never boxed a day in his life. And to be an expert, to have hundreds of thousands of people to honor your opinion. They don't honor your opinion about the science of the sport, the X's and O's. They honor your opinion because it makes them feel good. And it so happens that the people we call out that are on some bullshit, you support. And that's why they love you. That's why. You understand what I'm saying? So when you have a clown like Mike S coming here, yo, man, the enemy of my enemy. When I'm saying, yo, why is Tank behaving like this? Oh, the enemy of my enemy. Well, when the fuck did Devin become his enemy? When did that happen? Why would you say that? You believe in that? And when I call that out, what do? You attack Deontay? And this is a man that allegedly has 4 sons. You're raising them in that image? Shameful. Eden says, I feel you, Drew, but this is why I can't rock with Blue for networking with Biz at the Haney fight. Let me say this. You're entitled to that, Eden. And I'm not here to defend nothing. I'm really not. Blue's in a different position. So he holds himself to a different standard. There's certain things that I say or BF says or 78 says that would, on Blue's level, it will affect his brand. But let me say this. Blue's an insider, so he has to behave a certain way. Now, what does that have to do with his association with Biz? He's keeping it peaceful and cordial. But I'll say this, if you think he doesn't know what this dude is doing, you're wrong, because he does. Now, Eden, I know why you would say that, because you're not the only one that says that. I will say this, family. This is why it's important to watch your association. I'm not here to explain anything for Blue. He's a grown man. He could do that himself. Now, Eden has his personal opinion towards that situation. He's not being disrespectful. He just looked at that and said, yeah, I can't rock with him. He's entitled to that. He's entitled to that. Byron, exactly. It's chess, not checkers. I said earlier in the show, they have the same amount of subs. Both of those guys move the needle, but they move the needle for different reasons. Blue operates under 100% integrity. Showbiz does not. And the way that registered for me was, hey, man, I could be peaceful and political. I don't have to say anything bad about him because y'all know the truth. You understand what I'm saying, Eden? Showbiz was out there. He saw me. I saw him. He ain't come near me. I don't know. I guess he thought I was going to beat him up or something. I was at the presser. I walked past him. He fucking jumped out his skin. I said, damn, nigga, what's wrong with you? And I walked right past him. It wasn't nothing to me. And here's my right hand of God. You can ask my brother Clarence McLean. I didn't think nothing of it. He was talking to some girl. I was in the row behind him. I walked past because I wanted to get a closer picture of the stage after. And he jumped. And I looked at him. I said, damn, nigga, what's wrong with you? And I walked off. I went to the stage, took a picture, and I left. By the time me and Clarence got to my car, we driving the West Side Highway, I got a phone call. I got 2 phone calls. I ain't gonna tell you who called me. But nigga said, yo, man, you scared the shit out of him. And I said, what? What are you talking? And I'm looking around like, who the fuck saw that? I got a phone call because somebody was watching the presser on a bigger channel and saw it. Like he like jumped, like flinched, like you know how you flinch at somebody and they jump? I didn't even do that. I just walked past him and he jumped. I said, damn, nigga, what's wrong with you? And I said something to him. I said, what's wrong with you? And I walked around him and he was talking. I think the girl may have been Latina or Asian or something. She said, who was that? I was like, man, this dude. But it was nothing. I didn't get on live and say, yo, that nigga scared. I didn't say anything. I got phone calls. I said, oh, y'all saw that? One of my brothers all the way from Oakland called me. Well, he had to call 78 and then 78 had to call me. I said, wait, well, how'd you? He said, yo, I got people everywhere. They told me. And then Tay Jones told me, he called me up laughing. He said, yo, why you do that? I said, do what? He said, well, niggas was watching it and they saw you walk past who and they said you scared him. I said, look, I didn't say anything to him. I walked past him, he jumped, and I said, yo, you all right? What's wrong with you? And I left. But here's my point of bringing that up. When you live a certain way, behave a certain way, and you know you put out content to the point where you actually can feel that your life is in danger, your safety is in danger, You might want to check yourself, bruh. You might want to check yourself. To me, it's never that serious. I show my face, I walk the streets, and trust me, I got recognized at work. Some dude got on my bus. Oh shit, Drew Titan. I was like, yo, what up? Who are you? And he told me who he was. And I remember seeing him in the comment section a couple of times. But he lived in the Bronx. He's like, oh man, I was just listening to you this morning. I'm so-and-so. I said, oh yeah, I've seen you before. We dapped it up. He got off on somewhere, wherever he got off at. I'm not hiding because I stand on what I believe. And what I'm saying is not bad. I'm not out here talking about, I'll fuck somebody up. No, in self-defense, you're going to get this work. But think about what you're willing to throw hands over. Because I say Tank Davis is not a real Muslim. He's acting like a born-bred house knuckle dragger. Why isn't he coming for Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia like how he came for Devin Haney? Why isn't he trolling them? Then cats want to get mad at me. Well, stay mad. Because you know what you can never say? Lie. I never lied on them. And if you, as a black person, can get on here and justify all of that knuckle dragging nonsense, that tells me everything to do. That tells me everything I need to know about you. Hey, listen, salute to you, Geo James. Ran into this brother at Castle Hill while I was at work. And sidebar, all these cats that want to say, oh man, yo, you really short, you really a midget. Oh, you know, Malachi was running around here with that nigga nonsense. Drew the midget. I'm like, midget? This nigga better be at least 6'7". He better be. And I don't know him. And I ignored him. Then he started talking about what he's going to do to us physically. Came to New York and hid like a rat. Ran into 78. Then 78 called me. I said, oh, I'm going to Brooklyn. I went to Brooklyn the day of the weigh-in. I wasn't going to go. I was going to go to work that day. I said, I'm going to the fight. I don't need to go to the weigh-in. 78 texted me. He said, yo, you never guess who I ran into. I called him. I said, who? He said, that nigga Malachi, we in the same hotel. I said, what? You're kidding. I said, no, I gotta meet him. I went home, changed, and went to the weigh-in. That was the fastest I ever got to Brooklyn in my life. I got to Brooklyn in like 15 minutes. Because the time of day it was, people were still at work and people were still in school. Hit that Bruckner Expressway, hit the FDR, hit the Brooklyn Bridge, paid for parking. I'm like, where? Whoa, where? Where's he at? I said, no, it's the weigh-in. He's going to be here because he's a content creator. He'll be here. I met Boxing Maniac down there, Clarence McLean, No Duck Zone. Teach was out there. I'm like, well, I'm looking for this guy. Clarence said, who, this guy? And he looked on the phone. I said, yeah, that's him. He said, he's live right now. And I'm looking. I said, look like he in a hotel room. I said, why is he not at the Barclays? Everybody's here. And then people start telling me, yo, word is, he got a free ride up here, an invite by way of Rick Glasser. I said, well, Rick Glasser's standing over there. And he said enough stuff that warrants to get slapped in the face. But how do I look my big ass walking up to that fat, pale white dude and slapping him in the face? Why would I do that? How about this, y'all? Let me say this. I've gotten this far along in life without a criminal record. In what universe am I going to physically assault somebody over some stupid shit they said on YouTube about me or a fighter that I have a personal friendship with? Why? Language is important. I said, I got to meet this guy because 10 times out of 10, it's not what it is. Because you see these guys, they're like, oh, nah, I just be bullshitting online. And they want to pound it up with you. So it ain't about that. I asked Buckle Up when he was on my panel. I said, yo, wait, hold on. Before we go any further, is this some like, do you need to get physical with me? Is this like you want to fight or something? I need to know what I'm dealing with here. And he said, no, I don't want to fight you. I said, okay. So then we went on and had a conversation. Same thing with Malachi. I said, yo, no, I got to look this nigga in his eyes and find out what's wrong with him. Remember what I said? You can tell a lot about a person when you look him in the eyes. Eye contact. So when niggas come over there, they acting crazy in the goddamn panels, and they acting crazy in the chat, and you invite them up, and be like, yo, hold on, show your face. Why you want to look at my face for? That's gay. No, it's not. What do you think a stare down is in boxing? You're looking into someone's soul. Mike Tyson beat niggas before they got into the ring because he scared the shit out of them. Evander Holyfield, same shit. Oscar De La Hoya never looked people in the eye and stare down. He said he didn't like doing that shit. Look at all his fights. He looked up. He didn't like the stare downs. He just didn't like it. And he's a Hall of Fame fighter. He's a douchebag now as a person, but he's a Hall of Fame fighter. He didn't do stare downs. Felix Trinidad always thought stare downs. So if you talking all this reckless shit online and in my chat and you come on my panel, I'm like, yo, hold on, show your face. What you want to look at my face for? That's gay. No, it's not. First of all, I hear something wrong with you. I hear something wrong with you by way of your conversation, possibly your voice, like Black Lives. You can tell there's something not right with that dude. I don't care how articulate he may think he sounded, but when Bill spoke to him on that panel a couple of months back, Bill said, whoa, 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 you with the voice. I said, thank you, Bill. He heard the same shit I heard. You with the voice. Why the fuck this black dude has an anime of a black person with straight hair as his avatar? It sounds like Yogi fucking Bear, and he's a goddamn speaking of Haney haters, let me ban this motherfucker. Because I'm talking about black dysfunction, and a dysfunctional black person just popped up. So we don't entertain the bullshit. And he's a Loma fan. And again, because hey boo boo, picnic basket. Yeah, you with the voice. I said, man, I'm not dealing with this knuckle dragon. Get out of here. Loma retires and you haven't seen him in a few days, right? On BF's channel. And he comes up to BF's channel. And I tell you, there's something wrong with these dudes. I'd like to think there's nobody in this comment section right now that if you went anywhere and got cussed out for your opinion, regardless whether it's right or wrong, but if you got cussed out for your opinion, the way BF talks to these dudes, why would you go back there? These dudes show up every day in defense of Tank, in defense of Loma, and BF gives them the business and backs it up with facts. When he starts hauling off at them, that's out of frustration. It's like, yo, did you not hear what I said? That dude that BF just cussed out the other day, every day with some Tank nonsense. You can't tell that there's something wrong with that dude. You remember the AJ fans from 6 years ago? You can't tell that there was something wrong with them. I remember that dude, what was his name? Yeah, BFTB. That guy, what was his name? There was something wrong with him. The bald dude with the glasses, the British dude. I'm like, these niggas is crazy. Every day. These dudes show Black Lives. You show up, they get cussed out. What are you doing, man? Did your daddy teach you to do that? I doubt your mama taught you to do that. But then again, a certain kind of women like to have the last word. That's why I don't argue with women. Yeah. Okay, all right, yeah, okay. Yeah, you got it. That's it. That's my conversation. I'm not going back and forth with a woman. You know why? I didn't go back and forth with my mother. And I'm not putting all black women on a pedestal like I put my mother on a pedestal. I just know better. I'm not arguing with y'all. Hey, it's a nice day outside. The sky's blue. That depends on how you look at it. It's an off periwinkle. Bitch, I don't know what periwinkle is. Red, blue, black, purple, yellow. Green, that's it. All this hunter green and lime green and hot pink. Get out of here. G tatted up, salute. I keep it simple. But Malachi's another dude. All of these followers, and what side of history is he on? What did he do to boost his network? Talk about us walking around with a shirt that said LDBC killer. That is inflammatory. What are you killing? Why? Would you try and kill a community? We're the Lions Den broadcast community. Lions Den boxing community. We're not a gang. We're not jumping in chats and trying to muscle people. We're not running through boxing events, beating people up. No. We're a community that defected from this racist YTBC, filtered with racists and Uncle Toms. And we're here talking boxing, and even in our community, we don't agree with each other all the time, but we're a community. Why would you want to, quote unquote, kill that? You know why? Because at one point he wanted to be a part of it. And all 78 told him was, all right, well, hang around. Let me get to know you. And they ain't moved fast enough for him. So when you talk about Malakun, that's what I call him. When he came to the city and ran into 78, he copped the plea. He started throwing KQKC under the bus. And then he said, I ain't got no problem with y'all. I ain't doing no more videos about y'all, whatever. 78 said, okay. Buy you a drink? Oh, no, I'm about to go somewhere. Said, okay, but listen, we straight. But when you see Drew, that's something else. Got to get right with him. Oh, no, you can tell him. No, okay, no. You're going to have to see him. You're going to, get right with him. He didn't say, oh, when Drew see you, he going to fuck you up. Didn't say that. I left my job and I flew over to Brooklyn so fast because I wanted to meet this nigga. I wanted to look this nigga in his eyes. And my first question to him would have been, are you serious? My second question is, what is the matter with you? My third question is, what did I do to you? Did I, at any point, did I say, I'm going to slap him, I'm going to do? No. I'm going on 50 years old. Why am I going to beat up a midget to get locked up over something he said online? For what? That'd be dumb of me. But he, in his mind, thought that was going to happen. So he goes live from his goddamn hotel room, wherever the fuck it was, and didn't come to the presser where Gary Antoine was there. Chris Ariola was there. DHP was there. You should have saw how DHP pulled up. Pulled up like the president, and out came 78 and Black Fight Band and CC and BFTB. Everybody he talked about was there. Killer. He's the one that said he's a killer. He's a grown-ass man. I'm a little older than him, I think. I hope. But he's the one making sure somebody I'm a killer and got all of these other airheads rallied behind him. This nigga's out of touch. But never mind that. Drag my name and drag 78 and Black Fight Fan. We were there. That was a time for us to have a conversation. You're here in your goddamn hotel room. You checked out of your hotel room. You ran around talking about Bill set you up. Bill set you up? I don't even know what that's about. And what you did do in New York is go to Marco's Comedy Club. So let me get this straight. You came up from Tampon, Florida for fight week to go to a comedy club, and Marco wasn't even there. Marco said, yeah, Malachi came to my comedy club. I said, oh, y'all met? He says, no, I wasn't there. My manager called me and told me. So he came to New York not to go see the weigh-in, not to go to the fight, because I was walking around in the Barclays in between every fight looking for him. So if he was there, he was in disguise. I didn't see him. Had to watch where I walk because I might have stepped on him. I'm like, did I step in shit? No, it's me, it's Malachi. But still, people run behind him. And if you're black and you support that dude and you support what he does and what he says, that speaks to the character, his character, or lack thereof, and tells me everything I need to know about you. I was listening that same day. I think that live, I could be wrong, but I think Tim Bradley pulled up on him. The day of the weigh-in, when he went live, Tim Bradley called him on the phone or something. But what do we know about Tim Bradley right now? What do we know? And as you can see, you have another knuckle dragger. Did he run? That's the name. That's the name of your troll channel. Did he run? What do I say? Just let them talk, y'all. The first time I heard of this Malachi dude, he was calling me a midget. Well, Geo James met me in real life. Enough said. I ain't the tallest, but I'm not 5 feet tall. And everyone that has met Malachi has hit me up and said, yo, man, that nigga's barely 5 feet. That nigga's dumb short. Usually, the bullies, you know what the real fact is about bullies? They got bullied. Usually, the dudes that beat women, they got beat. And they got a problem with women. You heard what I said, right? A dude that got a problem keeping his hands to himself, you find out people putting hands on him. Why are you beating up your girl? You find out his moms and aunts used to beat up on him. That's all he knows. Instead of getting therapy, he takes it out on his girl. Hurt people hurt people. Genetically, Malachi, I ain't got nothing to do with whatever your pops had swimming around in his nutsack that made you. Maybe he was a little nigga. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know you, but you know what's crazy, yo? I'm not beyond approach. I told y'all, I ran into Punch Drunk 4 times. And it bothered me every time I saw him, and I didn't say anything because I knew he wasn't going to say anything. But I said, look, I'm grown. But it bothered me, bro. And at the last press conference, I saw him. Not the press conference before last. And I said, I got to talk to him. And it's a damn good thing I did because I found out some shit, I'm not going to say it on air, that checked out. He told me some shit that I'm like, whoa, what? And then I told him some shit and things started lining up. Things started lining up. You see what happens when you have a conversation with people? We're not like best friends or nothing like that, but there's no more beef. I don't have a problem with him. But there was somebody or a group of people agitating a situation where it didn't need to be. He got lied to like how we got lied to. And there was a situation that happened where I was like, there's no way he knows about a conversation that was had unless he spoke to one motherfucker who's a liar. And it was one of those things where we're looking at each other like, oh, shit. Got played, didn't we? You see? It's dangerous out here. And this little thing of boxing speaks to the character or lack thereof of these motherfuckers running behind the scenes. I just told you. 3 YouTubers had some beef last week, and dude literally pulled up on dude and shot him and his wife. Shot the woman, y'all. Both of them are dead, and this dude is in prison for life. Now what? You had a monetized YouTube channel. I heard they arguing over copyrights. Pulled up and shot him and killed him. They're dead, and your life is over. You're not. That's double homicide, and it was caught on video. You idiot. But what happened to just pulling up and throwing hands? What happened to that? So when I'm on here kicking it about my detest for the atmosphere of boxing, the racism in boxing, and I get a knuckle dragger coming up in here and talking about, oh yeah, you know, and then there's some dude told Champside I think on maybe in his DM or Twitter or something, he mentioned, oh yeah, I know people that know where you at or whatever. What the fuck does that have, what does that have to do with anything? See, again, it's the same person. It's the same person in the chat. When I talk about mental disorder and dysfunction, look at the chat. So deep in their feelings. But watch this. Here's how we handle that. Here's how, y'all ready for this? Watch this. Watch this, y'all. Now, if you write something else, and I say, and I apologize to the people that just found me. I apologize for the people that just found me. But every now and again, I got to do this. Every now and again, I got to do this. Let me go to Pep Talk. I'm going to wrench up a person over there. Watch this. Pep Talk, right? Subscribers only mode for you to talk to me now. Right? You have to be subscribed to me for at least 5 years. And 3 years on Pep Talk. If you're a wrench, you could talk your shit. If you're a wrench. You see? You see? Now on a Saturday, 12 p.m., that dude found time not to contribute and talk about how out of touch the black community is with themselves. Boxing is just a small spectrum that displays our dysfunction. But you add to the dysfunction by talking about Bill Haney's dick and his balls. This is deeper than all of that. It's deeper than all of that. And thank you for pulling up because you proved my point. That probably was Malakoon or Buster Nut Boxing or whatever he calls himself. All these niggas that I don't want anything to do with. You see what I'm saying? All I want is these dudes to be away from me. And they come over here because they're secretly fans. Selena, the artist, she was murdered because that woman was infatuated with her. That's all that was. John Lennon was murdered by a dude that was infatuated with him. You understand? You dudes want to sleep in the bed that I jack off in. You want to smell the sheets. Yo, don't take a shower before you lay down. Just smell me those sheets. You guys are weird. Are y'all paying attention to the faces that I have on here? I can let a YN up here right now. He won't even know. Like, your name, you'll get Malcolm X, you'll get Dr. King, but you'll probably get Nelson Mandela, but name everybody else. You probably can't do it. And if you can, just tell me why they're so important to our community. Tell me why. But you so infatuated with me and what we do in the LDBC, and you don't even know why we exist. You don't know why we exist. Y'all weren't even around before the LDBC. Do y'all remember what it's like trying to talk boxing before live streams, when people just posted videos before there was monetization? You couldn't go to a post and say, hey man, I love Marquez, but I think Tim Bradley might win that. Oh, you fucking nigga. And I'm like, wow, I don't even have my face on my avatar at that time. How do you even know I'm black? See what I mean? That's what it used to be. That was the norm. Oh, nah, you just got to ignore that. Yeah, we did. And we started our own community. The General started a community, and I supported full with a big heart. I supported it. I still support it to this day. And you got a problem with us because we don't want to deal with that? How about this? Go over there. And many of these bigger channels, they conform to that. They cater to that. Yeah, I'm black now, but I agree with you. Deontay Wilder can't box. Press 1 if you stole it. I don't think Tyson Fury cheated. Daniel Kennedy, who's that? Press 1 if you stole it. Whole time they buck dancing. They cater to that. Why? They might not necessarily believe it, but every dance that they tap, it nets them dividends. They monetize being a coon. Go watch the movie by Spike Lee called Bamboozled. My favorite part of that film was the end. And if you know, you know. And if you don't know, now you know. Oh, who said that?
If you don't know, now you know.
Wow.
And 450. N.
No N. Brandy.
Yeah, but I'm the problem. But I'm the problem. Rick Glasser said, right. You go ahead and quote Rick Glasser, man. You go ahead. Oh, but Showbiz the Adult said, you go right ahead and quote that guy. You go right ahead. That dude will sell you out in a heartbeat if it nets him dividends. We are legitimately at the point where the LDBC is Black Wall Street. All we wanted to be was left alone. I can't tell you what these haters say because I'm not over there. I know Showbiz, I've seen enough of him cooning to know not to deal with him. So when people say, yo, look at what he said, that's how I know what he said because people send it to me. I don't go looking for it. And the latest thing he did was this petition for no running. He doesn't even know the history enough to even understand why. That's a dangerous thing he's doing. But that's okay. That's fine. I am not trying to train these niggas, and I'm not even trying to state my case anymore. I don't need to. Because I know all I need to know about you knuckle dragging tree sloths. You slow motion thought process having tree sloths. Juneteenth, what's Juneteenth? Press 1 if you stole it. I'm going to sign this petition. No running. Got 3,000 signatures. Who do you think signed up? Who do you think signed that? These dudes who signed that petition, I guarantee you they just started watching boxing 5 years ago, or they are fans of one particular fighter. A lot of those are Ryan Garcia fans. A lot of those are Teofimo fanatics. All of them are Devin Haney haters. And 3,000 ain't enough. I don't give a fuck if it goes up to 10,000. Mark my words. Let me say this on record, because I already told Stormy this. And I'm going to talk about this probably Monday. what is it, an 18 by 18 ring he's talking about? All right, cool. Y'all the ones that ran around with, what's Devin gonna do to keep me off of him? Nothing. Because you was all over him in sparring, and you quit, nigga. You quit. You quit. So when Devin stops to start throwing punches, you know what the next conversation is gonna be? Man, Devin's breaking ribs and breaking jaws and knocking people out his last 3 fights, man. I don't think they're doing proper drug testing in Saudi.
Whoa! I'm
telling you right now, when you start hurting these motherfuckers, Shane Mosley might not have liked how he chose to fight, but prior to that, you know what Shane told me? I ain't got to tell you, because he said it to everybody else. He told me, well, I ain't gonna tell you the specifics about the training. That's none of y'all business. But there's a reason why he picked him to knock out Ramirez. But if Ramirez couldn't do anything to make him change, then why change it? So he coasted. But he said, no, Devin is different. When fighters fight at lower weight classes that they can no longer make, but they can make the weight, but they rehydrate to the best way that they can, sometimes when they come in at a more comfortable weight, you know what happens? They're stronger, they're more healthy. I'm not talking about a Manny Pacquiao who comes up 8 weight classes and ducks drug tests. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about if you're at 135 and looking like a skeleton on the scales, but you're professional enough. You're professional enough. You're professional enough. You're professional enough. When I do that, I do it for a reason. When you're professional enough to make weight and properly rehydrate, you might not have all your strength because you paid the price. In a 3-month camp, you paid the price. Devin got that. He said, yeah, I can make 135. Went up to 140, beat the shit out of Regis Program and said, you know what? Fuck that 135. I felt really good here. And guess what? He's feeling better at welterweight. He ain't got to pay the price to work on strategy and keep the weight down no more. Now he can walk around at 150, 160, and then cut down to 147. Look what just happened to Boots. Looking bad on those scales. He said, you know what? Before something fucked up happened to me at 147, let me go up to 154. All this weight shit. It's funny how people are focusing on their weight after what happened to Devin Haney. Shout out to Edwin De Los Santos. Shout out to the Dominican Republic. They did the right thing. In bad, I heard he fired his people because he said he wanted to take the fight, but his people wouldn't allow him. Edwin, they did you a favor, brother. They did you a favor, brother. I know you might not see it. I know you're a warrior, but sometimes these warriors got to be safe from themselves. You did not need to be in that ring. And you got paid regardless. You did not need to be in that ring, my brother. So I'm gonna do some more research. I just saw it on Instagram. I'm gonna do some more research on it. Edwin, they did you a solid, brother. I know you was a warrior. I know you felt you could have punched Keyshawn in his face and you could have. I said this is not a gimme fight, but under no circumstances were you supposed to take that fight. Now his team did right. Now what happened with Devin? And his team mentioned Devin, right? They said, no, we saw what happened with Devin and Ryan. 5 pounds today is 25 pounds tomorrow. 3 pounds for Devin versus Ryan was 3 pounds that day. This motherfucker Ryan came in at 175 that next day. He had to be, man. He had love handles, man. I said, oh my God. So Devin paid the price, maintaining a certain weight for the whole fight, leading up to the fight. Ryan did not. He's drinking, he's smoking, he's on Ostarine. Called Scooter in at the 12th hour, and Scooter said we could have made the weight, but he stopped me. He did not pay the price. He was not disciplined during camp. He was unprofessional. And y'all crucified Devin for that. Y'all didn't call him a warrior for going ahead with the fight. Y'all didn't call him that. He got knocked down 3 times in that fight. I dealt with it. And I'm like, all right, that's happened. This is happening what I'm looking at. It's boxing. Then you find out he cheated. And y'all want to say the drugs didn't make a difference? You can't unsee the left hook in a sport where inches and seconds matter. Y'all can't unsee the left hook. Well, why couldn't I unsee the left hook that Rolly hit Ryan with? And Ryan did not look the same. He wasn't as sharp. He wasn't as fast. He wasn't as heavy. He wasn't as loud. That was the roid rage we're talking about, right? But I let some funky nigga up here, oh, you having roid rage right now. What? By pointing out the discrepancies in you and in boxing and amongst black people? I'm having roid rage? Huh? You guys hated Devin so much. You hate Bill so much that you disregard all of the facts that you found, and all of you niggas that jumped on that bandwagon, old niggas talking about Bill Haney's a problem. He got his son beat up. Devin need to talk to me. When you found out that Ryan cheated, y'all got quiet. And then when you found out that he was a fool, then you saying, oh, it was just a little bit. It was a billionth of a gram. It don't do nothing. Osprey don't do nothing. Lie. And then when you found out he was racist, there was no apologies. No one texted me and apologized to me. Yo, Drew, yo, you know what? I'm a Tank fan, and hey, man, yo, Drew, you know, man, I'm a Tank fan, man. And when I first started, getting involved with the LD regime, man, but now y'all talking about Tank, and I say, so the fuck what? We talking about him? Tell me that I'm lying on him. I'm holding him accountable. What is this text about at 5 in the morning? Why are you texting me at 5 in the morning? Yo, man, this is karma, man. Wow, this is what happened to Devin, man. All of this before we found out this dude cheated. Then when he found out he cheated, then you're saying, oh, well, he didn't cheat. He found out when he did cheat, he's dead to rights. None of you niggas called me up and text me and apologize. And then when you found out he's a racist and a drug addict at that, and an alcoholic and a woman beater, am I lying on Ryan? Is he not on drugs? He told me right on my camera, he said it. Did y'all catch that when he said him and his friend was on mushrooms? Did you catch that when he said he was going to apologize to the George Floyd family? Has he done it yet? Did you knuckle draggers hold his feet to the flames to that? Y'all can't even say, hey, man, I love Tank and I hate Devin, but this is not right what Ryan's doing. Y'all even do that. Things happen for a reason. We needed to trim the fat for a lot of these niggas that was around us. And I appreciate 4 niggas in particular that did that. Because when all of this unfolded, y'all vanished. I was getting screenshots of them in the ops channels now. I said, look at this. One brother is so disappointing. He used to be on my pep talk shows. So disappointed. Because he's an older man than me, and I thought he knew better. But go on and rub against the LDBC, Booster channel. We never had a falling out, but I watched how he had a collapse. I'm like, whoa, where's all this Devin Haney hate coming from? What is this? And salute to you, Mr. Shelton. Thank you for that. Because he's not a liar. This is what he does. So because we have to have somebody police what's going on here. And Shelton does a great job of that. They're making Spaceballs 2. I'm in there. Fuck that. That shit was funny. Shout out to Let's be the Spaceballs. Shout out to Mel Brooks. Yeah. Yeah. This dude, man. And how hard is it to say, you know what? I ain't got to agree with Bill and Dev and their relationship, but you know what? What they're doing to Devin is wrong. This brother got on here and said, hey, you know, the need for Ryan to be wrong. No. I said, I don't want to deal with this. I hope Vada's wrong. Because if they're wrong, how many other people they caught cheating that they lie about? I hope it's wrong because I don't want to deal with this. I'd rather the win be clean. Y'all remember when I said that? I went live from St. Martin. I said, man, I don't want to deal with this. Y'all heard me say it. But unfortunately, we here. But you know what I noticed? The knuckle draggers, and this is why I call them knuckle draggers. Not one time did they even apologize. Not one time did they put on their black cape and say, yo, man, look, I ain't got to like Devin and Bill or whatever, but you know what, man? This shit Ryan doing is out of order, man. He got to stop. This is crazy. Y'all didn't even do that. You ends are out of touch. And when you're my age or older, that's a problem. When you're younger, that means you lack direction. The general in the building, salute. That means you lack direction. When you're a young man doing this, you lack direction. Who raised it? How many times you heard me say, who raised these niggas? You guys are lost, man. Lost. Sad state of affairs, man. And I just need you cast from around you. And for the most part, I silently distance myself from people. They won't be around, and you won't see me around on their platforms, whatever. And I don't make no announcements. That thing with KQKC, that boiled over, but I told y'all I had stopped dealing with that dude for at least a year before y'all even knew about it. I didn't say anything. They made those battle lines, and the quieter I kept, the louder that nigga got. He got louder and louder, and he got way more comfortable being contrary to what we did. I'm LGBT, but I'm a free thinker. I'm Chicago. You're a fucking crackhead, man. You're a user. You're a crackhead. Brothers buying you computers. Brothers giving you money that you're not paying back. Fucking, y'all know about Blue Blood. Somebody sent him some cologne and something happened, and they sent it to KQ, and KQ was supposed to pack it up and send it to Blue Blood. Months go by. And Blue was like, oh shit. The dude called him and said, yo, you like the cologne? He said, what cologne? He said, I sent you some cologne months ago. But I sent it to that OG in California, in Chicago. He's supposed to send it to. He called him up and said, yo, what happened to the cologne? Y'all know the story. If you know, you know. This dude moves like a drug addict, but you know what? We showed him unconditional love. I did. Blue Blood did. Stormy did. Black did. BFTB did. Listen, Blue Blood showed him so much love. And all of this is relevant to this morning. He showed him so much love. He was on the phone with him for over an hour the night before, giving him pointers on how to grow his channel. This nigga turned right around and did a diss video about him. The next day, I saw it come up and I said, did he mistype this? I'm clicking on the video. Yeah, you know, because Blue Blood Sports TV, he lied to y'all about. I said, oh shit. Blue texted me. He said, yo, what the fuck? I was like, I don't know what's going on. He says, yo, I was on the phone with him an hour yesterday, helping him with his channel. And he did this. He said, man, I ain't gonna say shit. I'm just not fucking with him no more. See, I didn't know about that. And we kept it in-house for at least a year. 1 year. I just didn't deal with him. He's a scumbag. What do I say about these brothers doing things for $1? He noticed his count started going up when he was contradicting everything that we said, but meanwhile waving the LDBC banner. I told y'all the shit with him and Tay Jones. He calling me, he called me a bitch. You get him on the phone right now. I said, yo, bro, don't do that. You did a whole diss video about what he said. And he on the phone screaming about what he said and why he don't really like Deontay. I said, please watch your mouth. I'm in the gym. It was Father's Day, as a matter of fact. And I said, please, Marion, stop. For those of you that don't know, that's his government name. Marion, stop. Stop, man. What are you doing? Stop. I just got to the treadmill and you calling me with this shit. I said, fine, man. You want me to call him? I call him. I three-way Tay Jones. I said, bro, this dude's screaming on the other line. He's kind of hostile, man. You don't even need to take a call, but he's insistent that I call you. I said, you don't have to do it. You out. He said, no, go ahead and put him on. I said, all right, man. So I clicked him over. I said, Tay, you there? He said, yeah. I said, KQ, you there? Yeah. I said, well, Tay's here. Tay Jones? He said, yeah. I ain't got no beef with you, man.
What? What?
Here's my right hand to God that happened. Here's my right hand to God that happened. When I say he was screaming at me for a good 15 minutes and I'm trying to defuse it and saying, look, brother, please, brother, please, no, stop, brother. And the more I talked to him in a soft tone, the more animated that nigga got. And then when I blew up and said, yo, you want me to fucking call him? I'll call him. But y'all don't have to believe me. I could be lying on him, right? I could be lying on the singing OG, right? I could be lying, right? What did he do to Brian Norman Sr.? I saw that shit. I said, yo, that's new to y'all. That's not new to me. Motherfucker got on the phone. And I said, yo, you got ops in your chat that mean us harm. Some of these dudes in your chat have threatened to physically put hands on us or bullets on us. They're in your chat. Some of these niggas got wrenches. You know what his response was? They ain't never did that to me. Here's my right hand to God. He called me on my phone and back on my old phone. I was able to plug my old phone, which is my soundboard now. I was able to plug that into my Focusrite. Remember when the fighters used to call in on the Roy Jones show? Hold on, read something. Oh, okay, Focus Ball. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna do some more. I'm gonna get some more information on that. But the way they're saying it, they're making it sound like he fired dude because of sour grapes because he wanted to fight. So I got to do more research on it. I got the screenshots, but I need to do more research. But thank you for that, brother. When I let him know that he had ops, and when I say ops, I mean people that are like, they mean to do you harm and people around you harm. And when I said, hey man, KQ, you got people in there wrenched up that have threatened my life. He had Malachi in there, and I blocked him twice. And this is after he said what he was going to do to the general, what he was going to do to me, and he's an LDBC killer, had shirts made that said LDBC killer, calling us Wakandans and everything else. He in your chat, I blocked him 2 times and niggas unblocked him, and they're telling me, Drew, you can have your own opinion over here. And I text him. I said, this nigga's in your fucking chat. Do you know what he's done? Now, you know, I let people, you know, say what they want. I left the stream, man. I said, all right, this dude's a problem. So then he did some more shit, and I called him on the phone, and I'm speaking through the StreamYard, and my only regret, because it was on a Sunday, it was after LDBC Strong. My only regret was not restarting a new stream and hitting the record button so I could document it. That's my only regret, because the only person that witnessed that conversation was Stormy, because we talk after the show. We be backstage planning other shows and stuff like that. We talk. And he heard it loud and clear. And I said, KQ, you got people in there that's giving us death threats. Some of those got wrenches, man. What the fuck? They ain't never did that to me. Swear to God, he said that. I said, and then I reiterated. I said, okay, I'm gonna give him a chance. I said, but brother, they threatened your LDBC fam. You know what he said? The LDBC don't fuck with me. Huh? How dare you? So those thousands of subs had nothing to do with our unity, us promoting you. Y'all remember when Trill Boxing Talk would go off? They were like, yo, KQKC's up next. Y'all remember that? I used to go live with Fanon. Then Trill Boxing Talk will come on. And then they'd send you to KQKC. Back then, 78 was coming on at nighttime. 8 o'clock out here in the East. Y'all remember that? So you mean to tell me the LDBC don't fuck with you? What are you talking about, bro? And I'm going to point something else out. Name one time y'all saw a super chat with KQKC's name on it. I'll wait. Nope, I've never seen it. If he's done it, it wasn't to us. He's never sent me a super chat. I've never seen him send BF a super chat. If he did, I missed it. But I just see things like that. He'll come in your chat and start typing in caps and plug his network, KQKC Boxing Network. He never sent me a Zelle, Venmo, or Cash App, nothing. Now, has he sent it to Keon and Monty and those other dudes? I don't know. But I know he rubbed elbows with them. All of this happened a year before y'all found out about it. I kept quiet about it. The icing on the cake, even the blue blood shit, we kept quiet. The icing on the cake was the shit he did to BFTB. He talked crazy about him. And I didn't even know until BF addressed it. He said, man, I done bought this dude a computer and mailed it to him. I got the receipts and everything. I was like, whoa. General done sent that dude money. I done super chatted him. Participated in his chat. But the LDBC don't fuck with him. You turn around and do that shit to your quote unquote LDBC fam and we don't fuck with you, fine. You know what we did? We left him alone. There's only 2 people that were literally kicked out of here. One was for being a homosexual and propositioning dudes behind the scenes by way of pictures. I'm not making it up. That happened. He was the first to go. The other one was KQKC for behavior unbecoming. Because all he's concerned about is his bottom line. And if you think that I'm lying about the lack of his integrity, the lack of his character, look at what he did to Brian Norman Sr. I don't have to make that up. I'm not lying on these dudes. I don't have to lie on anybody. The shit from Malachi to anybody. I don't have to lie on these dudes. I don't. I just say, look at what they did. Yeah, he is a sleepy OG. There was times he was calling fights. He's falling asleep. I literally calling him on the phone. You hear my phone ringing on his live. Wake up, bro. If you tired, just go to bed. We doing OG boxing talk on a Sunday mornings. Y'all remember that? Me, him, Fanon, Blood. Remember that? He's falling asleep there. I used to talk to Fanon like behind the scenes. He was so frustrated with him. He's like, man, this dude, you know, I'm trying to maintain and keep professional. I bring him up here because people look towards us because we're a little older and they take our words and they see value in it. And this nigga falling asleep and I understood because Fanon was trying to run the business. And I was the one saying, all right, yo, look, chill. Let me talk to him. He was ready to kick him off the show. And at the end, he just became comic relief. Did you know what Fanon told me? Drew, I appreciate you for being professional. Do you want to split super chats when we get them, whatever? I said, no, Fanon, you're doing a great deal. You're doing me a great service. I don't want any of your super chats. I'm just going to work towards getting monetized, and I appreciate you. That's what I told Fanon. So when niggas come up in here and salute the Freedom's March in that super chat, salute to you, good brother. I appreciate you. Niggas come up here and be like, oh, Fanon made you. I'm like, he helped me a great deal. And he did. He did. You know who else helped me? 78. You know who else helped me? Black. Black is the reason why I got in touch with Bill. And there's a history behind a lot of things I don't care to revisit. I'm just talking about when things were good. You understand? Thank you, Mr. Mont. The only reason why you subscribe to KQ is because 78 and everybody else co-signed him. But there were people that we co-signed this dude. There were people that hit me up in the DMs like, yo, what's wrong with dude? Is he on drugs? And I'm like, oh, nah, chill. You know, he loves boxing. I'm out here defending him. Just for him to do that? Just for him to do that. And I look strange at people that say they're cool with us and they befriend him after what he did to all of us, including BFTB. I'm like, oh, nah, chill, bro. You can't do me dirty and then be cool. And then someone that I'm cool with say, oh, man, yo, okay, well, he did that to you, but I'm cool with him. Nah, fuck that. Stay over there, bro. Was you listening when I told you what he did? Was you listening? And he don't deny it. So when he did that to Brian Norman Sr., everybody was shocked, not me. I was like, no, this is who he is. What you talking about? You wasn't listening when we said what we said? You wasn't listening? You thought we was just making up? You just thought this is about, oh, well, I like Deontay and he don't, so I don't like him. No. He has a character flaw. That's what this is. All of these niggas that we don't deal with got character flaws. All of them. But notice, can I ask y'all a question? Have I ever told any of you where to go? Matter of fact, daily, I tell y'all, I don't tell y'all where to go. Y'all go where y'all want to go. If you want to go, if your black ass want to go to some racist channel that's waving another flag and they're a known spot to talk down on black people and that's where you want to go, you go right ahead. But if you, what do I always say though? If you seen over there, especially while they're on a racist tirade or just a tirade where they're dragging me, that's cool. Stay your ass over there. That's why I severed my ties with Bruce Gass. And I did a live about his monkey ass. Why I have trust issues. Because he's a turncoat. And what's worse is that he's a white guy doing that. That's crazy. And then he goes to this nigga channel over in the UK. Inciting bullshit. You talking about DT? Because he don't know shit about boxing. This is the dude Stormy wasn't available the night I had Vinny Paz on it. And shout out to my brother Trick Nolte, because he's always grinding. He said, I got Vinny Paz on for us tonight. I said, bet. Stormy wasn't available. I said, man, I need one more person on this panel. I couldn't get in contact with Kurt. And I said, you know what? Bruce is a good dude. And I said, wait a minute. Bruce and Vinny are from the same town. I called Bruce on the phone. I said, Bruce, I got Vinny Paz tonight. Stormy's not available. Join the panel. Oh, Drew Titan, you're such a nice guy. Oh, my God. Yeah. So if you go look at Vinny Paz in the Strong House, Bruce Gas is on the panel. And this is after he fell out with Shelton and Trill Will. And I squashed that beef. I told Shelton and Will, I said, yo, listen, he's a little old. Maybe he don't know how social media works. Maybe he hasn't figured shit out. Where's a safe place? Where's not? Let me talk to him. Shelton, did I not do that? And I squashed it. And it ain't the first time I've squashed beef behind the scenes. Past that, niggas fight because they just want to fight. And I just step out the way. I work hard to keep the village together. But somehow, when niggas want to fight and they look at me trying to keep the peace, they say, oh, well, Drew might be the root of it. No, I'm trying to squash it. The LDBC is created by a black man, but it's not exclusive to black people. We have people of all races, cultures, and creeds in here. It's a community, man. And I showed Bruce Gas a lot of love. A lot. And what did he do after that? He goes over to a channel that had a full-blown lynch mob session about me, because this was after the Sugar Hill conversation. And I'm getting screenshots of him. And this dude is cutting me up. This Bruce Gas is in the chat with fire emojis, laughing. And this brother in particular was talking about the conversation, but he opened up the panel. He had nothing but haters on there. And one of the haters on there was that dude Would Stay Real from Baltimore, who since passed. And I went to the channel. I said, what is this? This is happening now? And I went to my quote unquote brother's channel, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, wow. And I text him. And I said, bro, you gonna let them talk like that on your what? He never responded. I said, all right. I said, okay. You know what I did? I unsubbed. And I stopped speaking to him. And y'all don't even know who I'm talking about and when I did it. You know why? Because y'all didn't need to know. I called 78. I said, yo, this dude over here, I ain't fuck with him no more. Here's what just happened. And that's it. And I kept quiet about it. If y'all knew half the shit that happened behind the scenes, y'all be like, what? Because y'all don't need to know. I don't like to be messy until it's time to be. I don't like to be messy until it's time to be. And Bruce, the fact that he's a white man that did that, stabbed me in the back. One part of me was like, that's fucked up. The other part of me was saying, this is typical. That's typical in European fashion. How I go from being a nice guy and squashing beef behind the scenes to you being on that. Now, he wasn't on the panel. He was in the chat laughing and fire emojis. You know what I did? I blocked him. Took his wrench, I blocked him, and he texted me. Still got the text in my phone. I already know what you did, but you're still my brother. I didn't even respond to him. I just stopped speaking to him. And that wasn't enough, because then he incites my Euro stalker when he's talking about me. He was making reference to me, but he didn't say my name. And I get a screenshot of Bruce Gas. Oh, you talking about DT? You talking about DT? Meaning me. Yeah, you talking about Drew Titan because he don't know shit about boxing. I said, man, you wouldn't have talked to Vinny Paz if it wasn't for me and Trick Nolte. You see what I mean? See? So when I see things like this, see, y'all might think I'm trigger happy. No. Give people a lot of chances. And there's a litness of other people I don't fuck with. Y'all might see them around, y'all might not. But you know what I always notice? When I say time reveals all truth and it lies nothing but the long way to the truth, all these people that stop coming around or are jealous of us for whatever their reasons are, you know what I notice? When they try to form a united front with each other, they always fall out with one another. If the Legion of Doom ever beat the Justice League, you know what the problem is? Who do you trust? Gorilla Grodd, the Joker, Lex Luthor, Black Manta? Who do you trust? All of those dudes are turncoats. Who do you trust, man? Nobody. They fall on their own sword 100%. There were dudes that tried to form some sort of coup against the LDBC, and accidentally, I'm on my algorithm. I say, oh, I thought they were cool. Why they fighting now? What happened? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So when y'all looked at that KQKC, a lot of niggas in that chat was like, oh man, how the OG, why the OG do that? I'm like, shit, I was waiting for him to do that. That's who he is. Y'all didn't know. We did. Had that man pulled over and gave you a few minutes of his time, and you gonna talk shit when he leave. Why wouldn't he do that? Yeah, Stormy, and Bruce Gas is a fucking thief. He hijacked Stormy's his entire live stream vibe. He's a thief. He's unexciting. He smokes weed all day. And he ain't shit. And all I did was not deal with him. Trill Will, salute. All I did was not deal with him, and he's still mad. Yeah, Slick Tom, you still my brother. I said, get the fuck, man. I didn't even respond to that shit. You still my brother. Fuck out of here, man. And the fact that I didn't speak to him past that. It was literally a year and some change later, I get the screenshot. He's over there inciting a riot because this British tooth, this knuckle dragger's over there. Andrew Titan, I have more subscribers than you. This nigga literally came out and I said, okay, congratulations. Who are you? I have more subs than you. Okay. I have less subs than you. I go live. There's 150 people in my live stream every morning. You got 20,000 subs. You go live. There's 22 people in your live stream. The math ain't mathing. And I say, and you're a boxing channel, right? And I say, British boxing fans are better than American boxing fans. So what's going on with you? It's me. You're infatuated with me. You go, there's another motherfucker. You go to his channel and put in my name. See how many videos come up. Listen, man, nobody cares about me that much. You're making them care. Yeah, Mr. Shelton, colonizer mentality. We love the natives, but y'all got to stay on those reservations. We love you. We're going to celebrate Thanksgiving, but, you know, we love you, but stay your ass on those reservations. Yeah, you don't have to pay taxes on those reservations. Open up a casino. You ain't got to pay no taxes, but stay your ass over there. And by the way, take this drug problem with you. Y'all didn't know? They pump drugs in the Native American communities just like they did in the black communities. Y'all didn't know? I was real nice to Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. I was real nice. Check my resume. I asked him not to go to one channel in particular because that dude was lighting our asses up. I said, bro, this is why Shelton and Trill Will got at you, because you was seen over here. Oh, but I'm an older guy. I just, look, I like that guy's content. He's real funny. I just think he's funny. And I say, yeah, but Bruce, it's not funny when you talk about someone's mama and what you're going to do with them and you start waving guns and you a gangster. I said, that's not funny. I know you think, I didn't say this, but I say, I know some of these white folks, they think that waving gang signs and gunplay. That's just naturally what we do, but we don't mean it. No, some of these niggas really mean it. But I don't know why you think that's funny and entertaining. Oh, but you know, I was just there for the boxing and he started talking about something else. No, because I'm looking at the title. It says LDBC flunkies, and you're there. So he wasn't talking about boxing. The other homosexual, they're talking about, oh man, when so-and-so says this, I told him he shouldn't say that. And when he says that in the chat, I got low like a stripper booty. Y'all remember that? I said, bro, I blocked him. And he's DMing me. Yo, unblock me. No. Oh, I didn't know he was going to talk about y'all. I said, I'm reading the dude's title. It didn't say Errol Spence, Errol Spence and Bud Crawford, blah, 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 blah. No, we're in the title, man. What the fuck? You went over there. And I'm telling you that's okay. But you going to stay. Yeah, sir, that dude. I said, stay your ass over there now. Don't come here. Why is that hard? Yo, listen, why is it hard just when I'm telling you, oh, bro, leave me alone. That's okay. I don't tell you where to go. Just leave me alone, man. Leave us alone. And I do mean us. Because if you're doing it to me, you're going to do it to the general. You're going to do it to BF. So just leave us alone, man. There's nobody on YouTube to say, yo, man, I got love for the LDBC, but the general, man, nah, I don't fuck with him. Okay, well, you know, you don't fuck with the general. You don't fuck with me. Oh, but I'm a sub to you for 6 years. It's okay. You have a choice to make now. You can unsub or get right. But I don't need your support. I don't need 100,000 subs. I'm good with 9,000 real ones. This is out the mud. I didn't buy anything. I'm not clickbaiting anybody, nothing. All these miserable motherfuckers, they like controversy because they're unhappy in their own life. Mrs. Scumbo's another one. I heard through the grapevine, he got all kinds of problems with his wife and everything else. Man, you over there, you enable all the fuck shit. I don't see him anywhere talking about boxing. I see him everywhere when people are talking about other people. General getting phone calls. Oh, we got it on good authority that Drew Titan's telling people where to go. Never. Not behind the scenes or on my platform. I never say. I say y'all go where y'all want to go. But if you're caught somewhere that I consider the enemy, it's cool. Stay there. Because if you find that person encouraging, if you find that person enlightening, if you see value in that person, that's cool. But if I don't fuck with them, you can't be two places at one time. You want me to keep it on the street level? For some of you that can identify with this, let me talk to you YNs that y'all like to call yourselves. Some of y'all are bashing the same chick's guts out. Some of y'all. The neighborhood punani. I'm keeping it clean this morning. Some of y'all are bashing the same chick. What happens when you find out that chick is bashing a dude that you really like? The next time you see this nigga, it's on. Y'all might be fighting. You might be shooting at each other. Whatever y'all drama is, you find out. Yo, hold on. I know you with this dude because he live up the street. I know you doing this dude because he over there. This nigga live upstairs from me. But that nigga across town, next time we see each other, it's going to be a problem. You seeing him? Nah. Go, take your ass over there. No. Got to draw the line somewhere. You got a problem with this dude, and all of a sudden now you got her in the middle of it. No. And she'll probably be like, oh, well, you know what? I ain't got nothing to do with what y'all got going on. I'm seeing him and I'm seeing you. No, you're not. You're seeing him now. Go away. Go. I don't tell y'all where to go. But when I find out where you're at, I'm subject to tell you stay your ass over there because I don't need you around me. Now, why is that wrong? Why is that wrong? I don't want you around me. You know what niggas do? They're gonna do this with this live. You know what they're gonna do? Oh, Monty, Drew was talking about you. Oh, Bruce Gas, Drew was talking about you. I don't give a fuck what y'all do. I really don't. Because you niggas love chaos. You love chaos, which makes you a woman. I say what I gotta say and I get out this bitch. I've dealt with the Bruce Gasses of the world, the KQKCs of the world. This other nigga and his girlfriend. We have it on good authority that Drew's telling people where not to go. Man, please. I even know Shorty did content. What is wrong with you? Homie standing in the pocket for his fucking girlfriend. All right, she done got in your head and got you away from your brothers. Because all I did was help that brother get monetized. Swear to God, didn't do nothing to him. And when I was on the phone with them, I'm like, yo, I don't understand. What do you mean? Why would I tell people not to unsubscribe from you for what? I said, brother, didn't I help you get monetized? I had you on my show every Sunday, sending people to your channel. And then she go, oh, there go the bullshit. I told you you're going to say that bullshit. Is it bullshit or is it real? I helped him. What are you talking about? What is this phone call about? You mad at two people here? Go solve that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm out of that shit. Oh, but you was telling people where to go. I said, man, you know this dumbass nigga cloned my account, was running around to different channels and starting trouble. You know that. Oh, that's what we going with Drew? Yes, because it's true. All right, and they banged the phone on me. I said, man, fuck them niggas. Now, from what I understand, they separated, and I don't even know if he does content anymore. I ain't got nothing to do with it. And all you're left with is beefing with people online for no fucking reason. That's why how many times, Trill Will and Shelton is right there in the chat. How many times I had to tell y'all, yo, just do y'all content. Fuck these niggas. How many times I told y'all that? And that's me trying to keep the peace. Man, fuck them niggas. Because the reality is sometimes families just not going to get along. And when I felt that about them and whoever I'm talking about, how many times they right there in the chat. How many times I say, yo, man, just do your content, man. There it is. See, a bunch of times. Do the content. Do the content. Fuck them. Do the content. Do your content. And when I was on talking terms with the other motherfuckers, I told them the same thing. Yo, just do your content. Fuck what they saying. No, Shelton's not doing videos about you. No. I asked him already. He's not talking about you. He's talking about Punch. He's talking about this guy. He's not. Why do you think? Hold on. You don't fuck with him. Why are you even watching this content? He's not talking about you. Goddamn. Do your content. Hey, you know what? Come on my show. I had Trill Will and the other nigga I'm talking about on the same live, and they were beefing. Y'all didn't even know that. You know why? Because I wanted them to grow. Shout, Trill Will, am I lying? Am I lying? I had you on a panel when a nigga and y'all niggas didn't like each other. But I said, yo, I want y'all to get monetized and make bread. Let's talk boxing. Y'all don't have to like each other. I had Trill Will, and it was me, Trill Will, Stormy, and the other nigga who remained nameless. Because I don't want my stalkers to run over to him and say, oh, Drew's talking about you. I am. But I'm letting y'all know this is who I am. I was trying to keep the fucking peace. But some people, they don't want peace. They want problems. They want problems. And once it was, I couldn't. Shelton fell back. Trill Will fell back. And I just watched it. And it was this nigga being puppeted by his girl. And I'm like, son of a bitch. Yo, when it's like that, brothers, stay out the way. Because there's no fixing that. In my last conversation with him, mind you, General called me and said, this is what they're telling me. I said, brother, I'll call him and I'll ask him. When I called him, he wasn't answering his phone. I left him a message. I said, brother, I'm reaching out to you because there's an issue. Please extend me the same courtesy that I'm extending to you. Then he calls me back. And I said, do me a favor. Call your girl on the phone because I don't want no cross messages. And I wasn't screaming and hollering until they got to screaming and hollering. And I said, look, what is the issue? What's going on? we have it on good authority that you're telling you got people telling people where. I said nothing of the sort. Oh, well, Trillwell and Shelton is. I said that's not true. Regardless of what you think, it's not true. What else? What's going on? Oh, well, you know, you got a platform and you're telling people. And I said, well, hold on, bro. I would never tell people to unsub from you. I said, brother, I helped you build your channel. And then she blew a gasket over the phone. Oh, you see, there go that bullshit. I told you he was going to do that. Oh, so you told him that I was going to remind you that I helped you grow your channel. Am I lying? I did that shit for free. I ain't have to put you on my panel, brother. I ain't have to tell people go subscribe. But I did it because I like to keep the peace in the village. Now, again, I had him on a panel with Trill Will. Y'all didn't even know that they were beefing. Because you're not supposed to know. I wanted everybody who did content in the LDBC to become profitable. Because that's how we grow. That's how we... Come on, man. Come on. That's what I do. What has KQKC built? He damn near tore down his own shit with Brian Norman. What has he built? I just asked y'all, how many super chats has he sent out? What has he built? What he's done is he's destroyed a relationship with the LDBC, BFTB, me, Stormy, Black. What has he built? He sure does take. Did you know BF bought him a computer? Did you know the 78 gave him money? All these niggas got a lot of shit to say about a lot of people. They ain't building nothing. Me and 78, me and Sensei, we was getting it out the mud, man. And when Fanon was helping me, and I decided to do one show a week, I started out talking about health and wellness, but the boxing kept calling me. And I said, this guy Stormy B, man, he's a diamond. And I'll never forget reaching out to him. I said, bro, every Sunday, you know, Fanon helped me, I helped him. What's the point in being at the top if you can't help people? It's a lonely. You ever heard this slogan? It's lonely at the top. You know what that means? What the fuck is the point being successful if you can't celebrate similar success with people around you? Oh, the LDBC, they're just about making money. Excuse me? Yeah, I want all my brothers and sisters around me that do content to be profitable. What's the problem with that? It's called a super chat. I super chat guys like Champside. I want them to succeed. I super chat Stormy. I super chat the General. I super chat BFTB. Now, here's what I know about the names that I mentioned. Champside, BF, General. You think they need, listen to what I'm saying, and Stormy, you think they need my super chat? Now, I know Champside, as a business on YouTube, is doing way better than me as far as revenue is concerned. BFTB, same thing. The General, same thing. So they don't need my super chat. But I contribute because I want them to grow. You know why I support? It's what it's called. It's called support. And see, this is what niggas don't understand. Niggas say, oh man, the LDBC is a pyramid scheme. You know, the General's taking all their money. No. I support. Just like you support Adidas, just like you support Nike. You know why you pay money for that? You want them to make as much money off of you as possible, because with the money that they get, they can provide you with more options, better style of jogging suits and sneakers and things of that nature. That's why. That's why. But you knuckle draggers don't understand that. That's why these cats, when they first got involved with the LDBC, they thought it was something that it wasn't. Well, we're not passing money around? Oh, the LDBC is about making money because that guy 78 at the top is taking all the money. You have no idea how a community works. The same niggas talking about, oh, 78 stealing money, he's stealing money. These are the same niggas that they accept super chats themselves. They accept Venmo, Zelle, Cash Apps. They accept memberships on their channel. The difference is, look at what have they built other than for themselves? Look at what 78 has built, and look at what everybody else that talks shit about him has built. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. Selfish versus selfless. I just told you 78 gave this man money, KQKC. I just told you BF gave this nigga a fucking computer, mailed it to him. And what did that nigga do? The spear. Right in the back. So I don't understand when people know that. I don't understand how the fuck they even over there. But don't take my word for it. When we say that he's a two-faced turncoat, look what he did to Brian Norman Sr., bro. And there's your answer. Time reveals all truth. Everybody that I mentioned or made reference to, I ain't lying on them. And all I'm saying is look at them now. If you can even find them. If you can even find them. You can judge me by what people say about me, or you can come here and hang out and see what I do. Marcus Walls in that super chat, much love. He says, gotta support. I appreciate you. And let me be clear. You don't have to support by way of financial, showing up here and just hanging out. That's support in itself. And I appreciate every last one of you. But y'all get y'all Saturday started. These N-words are out of touch. You can see it in this little thing of boxing. And what I will say is if you've gotten to know these guys that got big mouths, if you've gotten to know them by way of their content, you can see what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about. Just look at their content and how they run it. Some of these niggas get on here begging for money. Like literally begging. Literally. And I'm not talking about the brothers, listen. If you do this full time and this is what you do for a living, like Blue Blood, like Champ Side, right? Then you run this like a business, and I salute and I support. I stay supporting the Champ Side. He is the baddest brand in the land. Excuse me. I'm gonna get myself a jacket soon, by the way. That young man is wise before his time. I don't know how old he is, but I'm sure I'm older. And I told him to his face when he had long hair. I said, brother, I love what you do, man. I learned from you. That's how you run a channel. He ain't selling out for nobody. He hasn't compromised his integrity for anybody at all. Yeah, true, but that dude, that other dude, that guy's crazy. And he hasn't popped up on the algorithm at all or whatever. Please. Champ's under 40. Man, that young brother, I want him to make $1 million. And I'm not kidding, man. He deserves it. That brother got invited to the Super Bowl. How many YouTubers in our space can say that shit? That's how you get it done. Blue Blood, I could be online at a presser. Blue Blood will show up fashionably late, walk to the front of the line. All the security knows him. And when they start letting people in, he'll walk right in. They roll out the red carpet for Blue. That's how you do it. He has not sacrificed his integrity. So he'll look at showbiz, but he wants you to see the fundamental difference. And he ain't got to drag showbiz. Showbiz have said some shit and he said something completely different. And that's up for us to decipher. But he ain't got to be on here and do what we do and say, oh, well, F that dude. Look, he don't have to do that. But I'll tell you what, if y'all think that he doesn't know what kind of time that showbiz is on, no. He's just letting you know, I know. And I could smile in his face like he could smile in y'all face. I know. Blue's making the same money with all the integrity. Trust me. He's making the same money with all the integrity. Showbiz has become the punching bag. He has done 2 interviews with people that have called him out to his face. Shakur told him what was what to his face. He's on there smiling. You want to be a paid punching bag, a verbal punching bag, because you want a coon. So that's how I took it. I really watch my association. I really do. And it may take a while for motherfuckers to get found out, but when you're a fraud, I see you. And I might not say anything right away. But don't think you're fooling me. It may take me a minute. But when you've been found out, you'll know about it. And you might want to just not say anything when I stop dealing with you. Raven, salute. Appreciate you. And shout out to the UK. UK got the best boxing fans in the world. They do. Because I do shows like this not because of the UK fans, it's because of these knuckle draggers over here in my country. So this is Simian Saturdays, man. I'm going to pack it up. I've been on here 3.5 hours. I got to get my day started. I got to make some phone calls, man. Salute to y'all, man. Much love. And y'all just stay solid. For real, man. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
All my troubles come more nigga. Yeah, it makes me mad. Why you niggas are so against somebody for you?
How much longer do you think your
It
mom
makes me so mad. Long enough to beat your ass if you fuck up. That's right. You might not get out of the stadium tonight. You gotta be cool because you been watched.